How you doing, fight fans? EJ Boxing Live. It was some of the best channels here on the YTVC. We have Boxing Beast and Rhymes, D Styles Boxing, Chris Caban, Michael from the Pound Boxing Report, and Natty Turner, the Burt Sugar of this YouTube shit. I'm sure some other people are going to be coming. A busy week of boxing. We're going to get straight into it. We got the Carl Frampton, we got the Julio Chavez, Amir, so many fights. Scott Quigg. So many fights on the thing. So I guess we might as well start from. Nah, I don't want to because turn the show into a joke, man. We might as well go straight in with the Carl Frampton fight. I feel. I'll go first on this Carl Frampton. For me, Carl Frampton, yeah, you know what? He showed me quite a lot. Coming off the deck twice. Alejandro Gonzalez Jr. His dad beat Kevin Kelly. Thanks to Michael last week. Actually, I think What You Need actually told me last week that was his dad, the one who beat Kevin Kelly. And I'll tell you what, man, Carl Frampton surprised me. You know, I don't know if he underestimated the guy. He said he had trouble making weight, thinking of moving up. But I'll tell you what, man, to fight in Texas, to go all the way from Texas to Ireland, and and there was spots where he was cleanly outboxing. But Alejandro Gonzalez, yeah, put up a great effort. It was a really interesting fight, and Carl Frampton showed really good poise to get out there. I think the scorecards were way too wide. But other than that, it was a very competitive fight. And you never knew what was going to happen all the way. You didn't think if Carl Frampton was going to go down again. But it was a good fight, and I enjoyed it. Well, Carl Frampton, also Scott Quigg was on fighting over here in I think it was Manchester as well. But we're going to talk about that in a sec. But for me, Carl Frampton, for his USA debut, I think he done pretty well. And I think he's going to try and fight the winner out of Santa Cruz and that cheating Abdamaris. Abdamaris, that cheater. That cheating Abdamaris. So we're going to see what happens there. But it's good Al Heyman has brought Carl Frampton over, and I think he made a good splash. Hopefully he can fight in Ireland or maybe in Boston or somewhere where he can kind of rally up that fan base. So that's my take. I'm going to go straight in with Boxing Beats and Rams. Everyone else mute. Go ahead, Beats.
Yeah, his opponent is probably a little more seasoned than what his record would indicate. He's probably more seasoned because I'm looking at his race, he's fought in Mexico quite a bit. And at that weight division, it's very competitive out there. So, like, you can see the left hook to the liver, that's a seasoned boxer's punch. But he was just a bit immature, not immature, a bit green. Or he would have probably beat Frampton if he was a bit more seasoned or just coached it with the more subtleties of the game. But Frampton, he showed fast hands. He showed good fundamentals. Squared up on a few shots too much. I don't think he's going to be the star that McGuigan is saying. I think he'll be very good, make some money. But it was a good performance. I really enjoyed the fight. You know. Like, the guy threw too much low blows. He lost momentum through that, and he gave up his height. But Frampton, it was a good debut because, like, he said he wants to be Triple G. He wants to get in that Triple G territory of exciting fans. And I think he's done more because he showed a lot of vulnerability. He showed he can be put on the deck. And, I mean, it's going to be interesting when they put him in some serious fights. You know?
Okay, then that's Big Boxing Beats. Thanks for that. Keep yourself on mute. Michael from the Pound Boxing Report. Go ahead, man.
In watching this fight, I must admit I didn't give Gonzalez Jr. The credit that he deserved going in. He fought very well. It was just the fact that over time his lack of experience showed, and Frampton just took advantage of it. To Beats' point, I love the skills that he displayed, the uses of the jab, the way he's a guy who I consider has a very educated left hand, and what I mean by that is not only can he jab single, but he can double and triple up the jab. He can hook off the jab and can work with the left hand inside via hook or uppercut, and he can also counter with the left hand. That was the key in the fights, in my opinion, was the usage of the left hand. It helped settle Frampton down after a kind of a tough first round where he got knocked down twice. I think the first one was more of a flash knockdown. But it was the overall class and skill level of Frampton that showed to be at the end to be the difference. And to Gonzalez's credit, I'd like to see him again. He's tough, he's strong, he can punch, but he's young. He's only 22 years old. There's plenty of room for improvement there. I'd like to see him going forward in the future for him. But for Frampton, it wasn't the spectacular performance that he was hoping for coming into the bout, but a very good show, very good performance by him. I have no real complaints.
Okay, thanks for that, Michael. Mr. 90, turn up.
Yeah, what's good, man? Very entertaining fight, first of all. It was a very entertaining fight. I was impressed by Carl Frampton. I thought it was, to be honest with you, I thought it was gonna be over, man. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. After the second knockdown, I'm like, this dude is gonna take him out of there. However, it was the experience and poise of Carl Frampton that took over this fight, man. And as Michael mentioned, that left hand, that left jab is what did it for him. He was able to outland and out-jab an opponent who was seemed to be much taller and had the reach advantage on him. You know what I mean? And it seems like after the knockdown, the inexperience showed in Gonzalez, in Alejandro Gonzalez, because he kind of got away from what got him the knockdowns and allowed Carl Frampton to take over with that jab. He was doubling and tripling the jab, you know what I mean? And the experience definitely shows the superior technique definitely showed, but the dude has potential, man. The dude has potential, and I definitely want to see him fight again. And the D-Style, are you from El Paso? Did you get to go out to the fights?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from El Paso. I did not get to see the CBS card though.
Okay. You didn't go to the CBS card? Okay. But you went to the Chavez card?
I went to the Showtime card, yes.
Okay. Yeah, man. So I like what I saw from the kid, and he'll come back again. You know what I mean? He just needs a little more seasoning. That's all that is.
D-Star, you didn't see replay of the fight?
I actually have not been able to watch the fight. This is the last time I go. I planned something like this with a group of people because things does not go as planned. Like from now on, it's me and my date, and that's it. But I honestly I didn't get to see the CBS fights, to be honest. I saw the replay of the knockdowns, and that's about it.
All right, cool. You know what? Yeah, I'm tempted to ask you about the Chavez fight, but I'm just gonna ask the panel real quick. Where you think Frampton goes from now? Everyone can unmute. I think Frampton goes from now. Just real quick. Everyone can mute. Go ahead quickly.
Santa Cruz was in the audience yesterday, I should say, during the fight. And after the fight, Frampton, he talked about maybe he has some weight issues going in, so I could see Frampton possibly fighting Santa Cruz should Santa Cruz beat Mars next month. So I can see that happening sometime in 2016.
Absolutely, Beats.
To be honest, I'm more interested in the opponent. I think if his opponent gets more Americanized, he could do something.
Absolutely.
Beats is over there eating something so far away from the mic, boy. What about you, Dave?
Man, as far away from Rigondeaux as possible. That's where he's going.
Absolutely.
You know what? I do think he can beat Santa Cruz, though. From what I seen last night, I think he'll outbox Santa Cruz. And as far as a Scott Quigg fight, I think that's still on the table, and it looks a lot more interesting now that they have a mutual opponent that Quigg just happened to do a little bit better against.
Cool. All right, man. Well, we'll see what happens next. D Styles, you want to tell us about your experience over in El Paso, over there with Julio, Cesar, Chavez. Go ahead, man.
Well, just, I'll keep that as brief as possible. I mean, first of all, the crowd was a typical sarcastic crowd, but I will say this, that they were very clever when Chavez came out, man. Like they made sure Chavez Senior was in the big screen, which is why you heard in cheers. Chavez Jr. was not the beloved fighter in that arena. He was not. He was actually getting booed. It was actually they were going for the other guy, right? So they were not going for Chavez Jr. whatsoever. I would say it was about 80% booing, 20% cheering, but they were very clever in putting Chavez Sr. on the big screen, which caused cheers. But, I mean, I've never seen a fighter be introduced, and on the big screen, they're showing his dad rather than the fighter. Like, that was insane to me, but, hey, man. Also, I mean, you can also tell that there's not much of a Chavez Jr. fan base anymore. I mean, this guy was fighting at the Sun Bowl the last time when he fought Andy Lee. And now, you know, I mean, he's fighting at the Don Haskins Center and not even packing that thing up, you know, so definitely a fall from grace, and he has a long way to go, man. So as far as to make any type of comeback or, you know, anything like that. I mean, I was having to talk with my cousin, and it's true, right? He said, never in my lifetime have we loved the fighters so much and just hated them so much, like just within a couple years, man. It's insane.
So, so you're not, like, to me, man, I thought Chavez looked like the next dude, man. I was impressed by Chavez, man. Like, I think Robert Garcia got him down a weight. I know he only missed the weight.
I don't know, man.
To me, I don't know if everyone's down in it, but he makes me laugh. Like, he looks like I can see why when he was at middleweight, he was a monster. He looks like a bloody monster, right? I think he actually fought better than a long time ago, but he's just Chavez. I don't know. Wait, Chavez is hilarious, man. The whole episode, the whole thing is funny, but I think he done better. Like he performed better than he usually does.
Yeah, you know, he's hilarious, but the problem is the Mexican fan base, we're not looking for a joker, man. Like, we're looking for somebody serious. You know, like we're very serious when it comes to our fighters. And in all honesty, it's not even like we're expecting you to win every fight, but we're expecting you to come in and give it 100% every fight. And every single fight, there's an excuse. Well, I broke my hand, that's why I didn't knock the guy out. You know, oh, wow, you know, this time, you know, I'm working my way down. Or, you know, I would have easily won if it wasn't this, if it wasn't that. Like, the excuses are just out of hand. I mean, this is another reason why a lot of Mexican fans don't like Chris Arreola, man. It's the same thing. It's an excuse. It's just it's the opposite of what we've been hearing our whole lives, man. Like, how can you grow up, you know, knowing about Chavez Sr., someone who sacrificed and he fought because he was hungry, and then you go to Chavez Jr.? I mean, it's the complete opposite, you know, and it's true what they say. Most of the time, the children of giants are dwarves. So,
yeah. Well, yeah, you know what? You put it in perspective there. If you actually put it in perspective, you're not looking for no joke. You're looking for someone to.
You know, like when people say things like, "Oh man, Chavez is funny," you know, he's this, he's that, and it's like a joke, man. It's almost like a mockery, in my opinion. You know, like he's making a mockery out of the sport. You know, and the fans gave him support. Like, it was just given to him. He didn't have to earn it. It was just given to him, and he literally just spit all over it, you know. And I think that's why there's dissent, and that's why he was getting booed. He got booed out of the building, man. Security had to escort him out. Police officers showed up. They had to escort his ass out. I never seen something like that in my life.
Oh, wow, it's like that.
They were like surrounding him, and like it was just, I don't know. And then when he started to complain about the headbutt,
yeah.
And since he complained, then the ref decided he wasn't going to take away a point. Then he decided to take away a point, and he walks to the doctor voluntarily, and it's just one thing after another with this guy. I mean, not showing the character that Mexican fans expect out of our Mexican fighters. It's just not, you know, that's not what we expect out of our fighters. And in all honesty, which fan base really expects that out of the fighters? Nobody really. I mean,
no, I guess so. So let me ask you real quick, Arreola. So what I know the fight with Arreola, like he looked like he lost the fight, but Arreola he more gives it 100% though, but he just ain't got it no more, I think. What do you think?
Man, Arreola, like, I'm not sure how to feel about Arreola. Like, even if he put 100%, like, I still don't think he would be a world champion. But at least he wouldn't be an embarrassment, you know? Like, it's one thing if you're not a world champion. It's another thing if you're an embarrassment. And in my opinion, the dude's an embarrassment. His answers are embarrassing. You know, hey, why did you get in shape? Oh, man, I just like to eat. I like to drink Coronas and the tacos and the burritos. Like, are you fucking shitting me right now? Shit's embarrassing, man. Like real talk.
Oh, shit, boy. Oh, man. Damn. All right, D-Stars, man. Shit. D-Star, you know what, D-Stars? I'm glad you put in perspective like that, you know? Because, you know, from the other end, obviously, you know what I mean? It's serious, too. It's serious thing to you, man. Natty Turner, you want to say something?
About Chris Arreola?
Yeah, on the two topics, because obviously...
Well, I just wanted to add on that I've only seen one child of a boxer to really, well, from recent memory, maybe there's somebody else that was very successful, and that was Layla Ali. And you got to take in consideration the talent pool that was available at that time as well. But she was the only one that I seen that was actually successful. You know, there was Marvis Frazier, Ronald Hearns, Aaron Pryor Jr. You know what I mean? What's his name? Floyd Patterson Jr. Tracy Patterson. He became a world champion, but he never filled the shoes of his father, I don't think. What's the Buster Mathis Jr. All of these children of great boxers, they just never kind of lived up to the hype. I don't know if they should even be fighting. You know what I'm saying? Because there's certain things that their parents did that made them into fighters, and I don't think they have those same experiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, like, think about Chavez Sr. was living on the back of a train, like, you know, and that was his life, and he had to get food. Whereas Chavez Jr., you know, he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe fighting isn't what he was meant to be, you know.
I don't think they're meant to be that, but they have the name and they think they can make money doing it, and they think it's in their blood and all that good stuff, and they find out that it's not. You know what I mean? It's just not. And some of them even start off late, like Ronald Hearns. He didn't even start fighting until he was like 25 years old and expected to become a world champion. I mean, that works for some people, but it's just not gonna happen like that. You're gonna have to be doing this from a young age to develop certain habits and certain skill sets. You know what I mean? Boxing is not a game. I don't really like. I mean, I'm not knocking them or whatever. You do what you want to do. But I don't really like the athletes that come from other sports and just jump into boxing like it's easy and shit. Like, I'm a football player and I injured my knee and like, okay, I can't play football no more, but I could do boxing. Oh, I'm a basketball player and I injured my knee. I can't do basketball, but I could do boxing. Like, that shit is easier. You know what I'm saying? And it's not.
Well, man, look, man, I'm more or less on the disrespecting on the Mexican heritage, like Barrera, Morales, and you know what I'm saying, and you're talking about some of them warriors that come in and you say, these stars, man, you just put it in perspective. Boxing Beast, what's your take, man?
I don't know, maybe without being disrespectful, you could say it is a little excessive if he doesn't have the talent that his dad has, or the discipline, he just doesn't have it. If people choose to support him in droves, then they have to look at themselves for paying for the tickets and the subscriptions. They have to look at themselves why they paid for it, you know. But he has got a lot of privileges. But that's what happens if you're born into nepotism, you know. And to be honest, if you're looking at it from his own personal point of view, he's probably made a good living from boxing.
Oh, he made a couple of million.
Yeah.
If you gamble it all off. You know?
And I think his brother's a better fighter. Omar Chavez, I think his brother's probably technically a better fighter than he is.
Chavez Jr., that guy started on third base and thinks he hit a triple man. Okay? So that's where he started, right? And so, I mean, and I get the point of fans that keep supporting him, but I think my point is Reyes was still signing autographs for like an hour after the fight, and Chavez Jr. was escorted out by security, right?
Wow.
So that's all I'm trying to say. I mean, I'll pass the fight town. People show up to watch Mara's fight, or it doesn't really matter who shows up. So, yeah, people went to go watch because it was Showtime Boxing, CBS, or what have you. It wasn't even that packed. So I'm not going to say that everybody went to go watch Chavez Jr. per se. You know, he had some of his fans there. A couple fights broke out in the stands, believe it or not. But I think that happens just whenever you mix alcohol and emotions. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. But, yes, I think the issue with Chavez Jr. Isn't so much that he's not as good as his dad. If that's all it was, I mean, I don't think people would be bullying him and he wouldn't be getting escorted out by security, right? I think it's the fact that he can't even make weight, like something as basic as that, you know, for his own imposed weight. You know, he can't even, you know, he just acts like a diva. And it's like those type of, the way he acts, you know, just stuff like that. That's what they have a problem with. It's not his lack of effort. You know,
I'm Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., so I don't have to do the things that other fighters have to do to, you know, gain respect in the sport.
Yeah, like he won't even show up to the gym or like just stuff like that. You know, just basic things that fighters should just do. You know, but yeah, that's what it is.
Yo, as far as Chris Arreola, man, he got beat. He got his ass beat yesterday. Seriously. This dude just outclassed Chris Arreola. Chris Arreola, in my opinion, only won maybe 2 rounds. Maybe somebody might give him 1 or 2 more, but from what I saw, he only won 2 rounds. The guy outboxed him, outside, inside, walked him down. He looked like a shell of a fighter, man. He looked like he was disinterested, and he was right to say that he didn't deserve any kind of title shot because he didn't win the fight, or he didn't get a draw. And what was disheartening about that whole thing is like no judge gave the other guy the fight at all. One judge scored it maybe 2 or 3 points for Chris Arreola, and the other judges scored it a draw. So nobody seen the other dude winning.
Texas is hard like that. You know. On the Frampton card, they had the same thing. They had Frampton way ahead. I was thinking Alejandro. I don't think Gonzalez.
I think Frampton desered that. I think the kid
the scorecards are wide, man. Like,
it was 115-109.
Let's do the fight with man. Them knockdowns, man.
He only won 7. To them, he only won. Well,
you know what I'm saying?
There was a lot of, to me,
3 rounds already, and like he's 3 rounds up already, and then he arguably won the round after that. Like that's 4 rounds already. Like so,
like he won. The kid won 1, 2, definitely 1 and 2, and I think I would give him 9. Other than that, Frampton was outboxing him, man.
Yeah, he was outboxing him. I know that. I thought the fight was close.
And it was only close like that because of the knockdowns.
No, but my point is some of the scorecards over there, like they're a bit like, you know what I mean, they're a bit iffy. And that one, that on that night, there was some like, you know, on the scorecards are just, you know, they weren't. Yeah, it's a bit funny. But Michael, what
scorecard was alright, man. Scorecard 116, 111 I had.
Michael, man. See?
Excuse me, EJ.
Yeah, what's your take, Michael, on Arreola?
Yeah, Arreola Chavez. I mean, look, I'm pretty much. I don't have nothing to add. Natty was right. I agree basically with what he said. Look, Arreola lost that fight. He wasn't consistent with his work rate. His opponent, he did some tricky little things, some nice little things where he would, the way he would switch it from orthodox to southpaw, and then as soon as he turned to southpaw, he would land that left hand solid on Arreola right on the chin, and then he would cover up, duck, and slip out the way. And he did that basically most of the night, and Arreola didn't adjust to it at all. But let's face it, fellas, we all know what's in line for Arreola next. So if the fight was close in any kind of way, they was going to give him the fight. You knew that coming in, and that was basically what you saw Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
Man, but you would think they would try to cover it up or something, man, because it wasn't even that close.
But brother, this is Texas we're talking about. This is Texas.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's never been that good at Arreola anyway, so.
Right, and as far as
they were propping him up there though.
And as far as Chavez, for me, it's two things. It's one, he acts like a spoiled, entitled kid full of privilege who doesn't have to put in the work. See, for me, it's not just the fact that he won't apply himself in terms of making weight. I mean, last night he looked huge. He looked massive. He looked so bloated. He looked like he should be endorsing Gas X or something. That's how bloated he looked. Yeah. And also for me, secondarily, where is the improvement skill-wise? I think there's a drop and decline in terms of.
I see why it takes up so much discussion time, because if you look at the legacy of Mexican fighters, really and truly, his time was up after he was given the title by Suleiman. Really, so I can't really blame the kid. I can't blame him. For some reason, this guy is still being talked up about like he can be in potential big matches. Even now, we spent so long talking about him. And to be honest, the guy who fought Frampton is a better fighter, in my opinion.
I can only guess Beast because he brings.
I don't know what to do with it.
I can only guess because he still brings money. He still brings ratings. Other than that, that's it.
Yeah.
And I remember they were comparing him and Saul Alvarez earlier in their career. So we see who turned out to be the better fighter there. And like I said earlier, his brother Omar Chavez is a much better fighter than he is, in my opinion, anyway.
Boy, I don't know. These stars, the Mac, what's his name again? Is it McJoe? McJoe Arroyo.
Yeah, McJoe Arroyo.
Yeah. McJoe Arroyo versus Arthur Villanueva. Now listen to this, right? I don't know you even know. Obviously, McJoe Arroyo's got a brother called Matt Williams Arroyo, right? Now the referee in that bout was friends with the two twin brothers when they're childhood. He was refereeing the world title bout, the vacant belt left by Tete. Now this man, I'm telling you, bro, this shit was fucked up. I was thinking, what the fuck?
That was a robbery.
I can this shit about Texas, yeah. I was thinking,
Explains a lot, yeah.
Lisa, what's your take on that right there? Because you was there. Go ahead.
Right. Well, first of all, you're saying that he was friends. You're talking about the referee with the.
Childhood friend. They had a picture of the two twins and the referee. They were friends from birth or something. Like they knew each other from childhood. And he was allowed to referee the bout. And you could see he was biased. Like there was a thing where there was a head clash and he blamed Villanueva. And it was like Arroyo was going in with his head, and then there was a thing where Arroyo came in with his head, and he didn't say anything. It was ridiculous, man. But you was there in the building, so what's your take on that junior bantamweight championship?
I mean, first of all, I don't know that about the ref, but I did feel the ref was pretty biased. But
oh shit, he's childhood friend. They showed the picture up on the Showtime. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that fight. First of all, the crowd was being very harsh on those fighters. But everything from I heard everything from when are they going to start playing the song and stop hugging and this and that. But it wasn't the most eventful fight, to be honest. But I did feel like the ref was getting involved a little too much in that fight, personally. And he acted differently, in a very similar circumstance as far as the headbutt goes.
Yeah. So
and then the last headbutt was a lot worse, if you ask me. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, it put an end to the fight. So.
It was bad. Like Michael, what's your take, man?
That was in my opinion, that was a close fight.
Yeah, it was. I finished it at this. Again, go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say I thought Villanueva was winning the bout.
Yeah.
To me, I thought he was the busier guy. Was he landing necessarily titanic hard shots? No, but they were effective. And for me, McJoe, he just didn't throw enough for me. He didn't throw enough, and that was the difference for me. And it wasn't the crowd that was not only upset at the fight. Twitter was having a ball with it too because they was kind of bored. It wasn't the most pleasing fight in the world, but Villanueva, I haven't seen him before, but he showed to be a decent guy. I thought he was winning at the time of the fight. I don't know and it wasn't just for me the fact that Arroyo won the fight. It was how wide the scores were.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was how wide it was ridiculous. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like 10 point disparity in his favor? What the hell?
Yeah.
8 point disparity, excuse me.
No. Way too wide. It was way too wide. There's no doubt about that. I think the crowd had more like Villanueva was winning, to be honest, but and you know, they were booing the decision. So, and then the crowd got more upset that didn't even interview Villanueva. It's just like pretending he didn't exist or something. Like, he's the one that got headbutted.
Yep.
They didn't interview the guy.
Yeah, the referee, the scorecards is that it was just it's all against, man.
They interviewed the doctor who got booed. He's just a doctor, you know, but they didn't interview the fighter. You know, they got headbutted.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true, man. Hey, that ain't your beach, yeah. You can just jump in on this, man. You don't have to sit there and
Neither guy really dominated, as far as I'm concerned. So,
if no fight even dominated, yeah, I agree. But to me, after they got in that, you can say something.
No, I haven't seen the Showtime card yet, man. I had to go to bed early last night. I went to work at 3 a.m. this morning.
Okay, fair enough. No, fair enough.
Well, in all seriousness, though, if the crowd's being hard on Arroyo, it's just because he's Puerto Rican, so maybe that's...
Yeah, bro. Yeah. All right, let's talk about...
That's why Cota don't want to fight in San Antonio.
Yeah, hey, let's skip it up now. Let's change to Amir, man, the old master versus Fernando. What's his name? Angulo. Yeah, Angulo. That was... This is where Amir Man came through, man. Don King's protege coming through. We was talking about earlier on. Michael, you go ahead and talk about it, man. Go ahead, Michael.
Amir Imam, a prospect indeed on the rise. A lot of talent. Basically had his way with the older Angulo. You can tell in the first round that he was the livelier guy, the faster guy, the younger and fresher guy. And once Angulo started to, once Imam started to establish the jab, everything else flowed from there. Took him out in the 4th round with a right hand above the ear. On Twitter, there was comparisons, and even on the Showtime broadcast, they was trying to compare him to Hitman Hearns. But when I see him fight, I see him as a taller Roger Mayweather in terms of the way he fights, the way he moves, his head and his body, even the way he's built. He's built a lot like Roger Mayweather. So yeah, very good performance. Is he ready for to face the elite? Nah. And Danny Garcia kind of had a funny tweet about Imam last night, basically calling shots on him and say, "Don't head this way. You may not like what you get." But again, Amir, he's a guy worth watching. Keep your eye on him. He's on the move. He should be headed for a title shot later on this year, from what I'm hearing.
All right, cool. Go ahead, D-Stars.
You know, Amir Imam was the hero of the night, man. I mean, you know, but you know, great performance. The crowd loved the performance. You could hear the power. You really can in the arena anyway. And great knockout, man. I mean, if it wasn't for that knockout, I think it would have been a riot, man. I think.
Oh shit! Hey, we played that. Go ahead, buddy. Hey, go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I didn't see the Showtime card yet, but I'm gonna watch it a little bit later on, and I'll tell you my thoughts. But from what I've seen of Amir Imam so far, man, the kid is very talented, and I'm not surprised that he got the victory last night. I'm not sure if where he should go from here. I think he needs a few more better opponents to test his skills, man, and sharpen him up for when he actually really gets to a true title shot and a true competitive fight. He'll be ready. You know what I mean? Other than that, man, what he's doing so far, I'm impressed with, but he needs to step up the levels.
Cool.
Man, when everybody saw Don King, man, like the place erupted. You know, the place erupted. This was not like when he first came out. You know, like no matter what anybody says about Don King, like everybody knows who he is, man. Like, that hair, like all those flags and stuff. The place is erupted, and everybody was really cracking up when he was calling out Floyd Mayweather. But
that's hilarious.
The bottom line is,
I think he just responded to a question though.
He didn't respond to a question. No.
That's the one I saw. Maybe there's something else.
Smart though, because now a lot of people in the crowd, or even people at home, right, are going to be like, "Why was Don King saying he could fight Mayweather?" Now they're going to start looking him up a little more. So it doesn't hurt, it just doesn't hurt. But I will say though, I need to repeat, and I don't even know his knockout ratio or anything, but I heard the power, man. He's got some pop.
He could crack.
Pop. For 140, he could pop. Like
that Alejandro Gonzalez kid, he's all skinny and lanky and whatnot. You don't think he don't look like a puncher, but he can crack.
He got that. Both of them have that big frame though. Both of them have big frames for this.
Alejandro dude was fucking frightening, bro. It's just that he was busy enough. But
he fell in love with that power early, man. That's what happened to him.
When you get someone down the canvas, you don't let them chance to get back up. Beast, hey Beast, what's your take on the old master, man?
Yeah, the opponent was crap. I mean, he was garbage, but Imam is a prospect, definitely. He showed some good defense and the finish, Definitely, I can see why the right cross was kind of Thomas Hearns-esque in its own way. But he's got his own style. And he should do some things, but the acid test are to come. So I'm not going to get too high, but if it's all, from what I'm visualizing, if it's all true, then if it's as good as what I see, he should go on to do big things in the game. He should do, but you never know. He hasn't been tagged on the chin for one, So.
Go ahead, man.
So I asked this question before the show began, and I'll ask you guys here for the sake of the show. How would you compare him to an Errol Spence, they're basically both of them are at similar points in their careers? How would you compare the two? And this is for everybody.
Yeah. Anyone can answer that, man.
I mean, I believe they're both talented fighters, man. They're both talented fighters on the way up, and they both need to take their time. You know what I'm saying? I don't think either of them should be jumping into any title shots at this particular moment because they haven't fought that level of competition to prepare them, for the higher level guys, and it could be a shock. It could be a shock to their system.
That's the thing, though, Nay. You can't really do that in boxing, right? If two young guys are saying they're ready for that level, then no one can know more than they can. No one can know more than the boxer. If they think they're ready to go to that next level, then it's time.
Especially with one calling out other fighters saying how he gonna murk them.
What they want to do, but that's just my opinion, my assessment.
Fernando Vargas thought he was ready for Trinidad, but boy, he wasn't ready for shit.
You know what I mean? This is my assessment of where they at. They know better than me. They're in their own body. They're in their own skin. But from what I've seen and from the level of competition they've been facing, they don't really know. You know what I'm saying? How to deal with certain things. Errol Spence has really rarely been really touched yet. You know what I'm saying? How is he gonna react to that kind of thing? You know what I mean? He hasn't fought a fighter that's gonna push him back yet. And how I haven't seen him deal with that kind of adversity yet and overcome it and still get the victory. And that's the same thing with Amir Imam. He hasn't fought that opponent that's gonna give him that work. You know what I mean? And that's all I want to see. Fight somebody who is a little more credible than the taxi drivers that you've been fighting.
When fighters start picking their own fighters, that's when they come across.
They're Uber drivers now, man. They're not taxi drivers.
Yeah, you sit there. Like when fighters start picking them, that's what you got the matchmaker for. Like some of these fighters, that's why they get their mouth in trouble, because when they go in there, then they get exposed, man. Adrian Broner, he on Twitter say, yeah, let the fans pick, and he picked Marcus Maidana. You know what I'm saying? Like you went up Fernando Vargas. I want Trinidad. Like, look, man, when I agree with Beast. They should go, if they run their mouth, go in there. But I tell you what, you should shut your mouth and just let the matchmaker do it. But your career could be slowed up like Guy Russell Jr. So I don't know, man. It's two-way thing. But
there's no science. There actually is no science that you can get the greatest matchmaker protect you. you can put him in too early. There's no like you either do it or you don't. Like we saw David Price, and I might be skipping there, but some fighters will never be ready for big occasions and semi. It doesn't matter. And other guys, they can go in early and do it. There's no science to it really.
Ron Martinez had like Top Rank is known for the matchmaking, and we know how he turned out. So.
Yeah. We're getting there on that one, Beast, man. That's a good one right there. That slide us right into where we need to be going. Over in the UK, I don't know if you guys in the States saw that, man. David Price on Friday. What's that Beast, the guy's name?
Okay, Kiko.
Yeah.
I saw it.
The vacant European belt. And he got eaten, boy. He got cleaned out, boy. And he got his legs stiffened and straightened up. Dropped on the floor. And I tell you what, that knockout was dangerous. And like what Beat said with the matchmaking and that, it worked, man. He was on paper, he was supposed to win the fight. But it looked like, to me, he looked like what Price was all about from the start when Tony started. He's a big guy. Maybe he got in there for the sake, started boxing because he used to get bullied. But this guy don't want it, man. Because I tell you what, when you're big, tall like that, there's things you should do. First off, you establish a jab, you back your guy up. And when he try to push you back, you lean on him, you grab him, you You bully him. You don't let the little guy bully you, and he just looks sorry, man. He looked like it was terrible. But in my opinion, I don't think he's got it. And if he gets in the ring again, with anyone dangerous, he's probably gonna get hurt again. So that's my 2 cents on it, man. Anyone else can jump in.
David Price is done. He's done.
Yeah.
Done. There's nothing else to say about it. There's no analyzing. There's nothing. He's done. Good night.
Tony took his soul, man.
Yeah, he's somebody for some. He's an opponent for somebody to put on their record at this point. You know what I mean? Anthony Joshua would have did the same shit to him. You know what I mean? I was wondering about Anthony Joshua. We discussed this matchup previously, maybe a few months ago, but at this point, Price is a wrap. He needs to retire before he gets his damn self hurt.
I disagree. And I've got a theory on that. I disagree. Yeah. He lost to Tony Thompson, right? Tony Thompson arguably has given Klitschko his hardest fight. The first fight. The second one he flopped out. Right? Thompson is very capable. He's very capable in his own right. Yeah? And they miscalculated that. The guy who just fought on Friday, I was telling everyone, this guy's dangerous. This guy hit Martin Rogan with a two-piece and broke his jaw in 2 different places, right? He doesn't have a ripped physique or nothing like that, but there's a few Turkish heavyweights. Like there was a guy named Samuel Sam back in the day. He had a similar physique to that guy, but they're very strong. And I remember Samuel Sam just beating the crap out of Danny Williams from nowhere. Just beat the crap out of him. I said, how did this fat guy beat him up? But, I think we might be underselling Erkan Tepa. Who knows what would happen if we put him in there with Joshua or anyone in it.
He did what he's supposed to do.
He's supposed to beat them dudes. He ain't. If you can't beat these dudes, okay, Thompson, fair enough. But that's a European belt. If you can't be, that guy's gonna be the best in Europe. So for you to be the best in Europe, you need to you need to. You know what I'm saying? You need to beat that dude there, man. And if you can't, and
don't know how good Tepa is.
And he lost to Thompson twice in a row, sparked out twice.
He's got all the beats. He's got all the physical attributes to beat someone like that. Yeah, there's not, bro. If I had them attributes, well, I don't know what I want, but I would give him a good belt.
And the bell rang at a good time in the second fight, right? I'm not saying he's going to be anything great, but I'm not sure if he should retire. I think he should give it another go. I think he should give it.
Just to add to what Pete's saying, I mean, keep in mind that the current reigning champion got knocked out several times.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, but that way he got knocked. The way that big man went out, man, stiffened his leg. It took him. The thing is, he fights with no confidence and no desire. He just fights like what Tyson Fury's trainer Peter Fury. He said, "Oh no, I think it was true. If he fights like the Tin Man with some oil, he needs some oil in, bro. The man is just like, you can see he's void of a heart. He's void of like that grit, and he's like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck is doing? Like, he needs to like, who's doing this to me? To get off the floor and say, nah, I ain't taking this. I'm gonna go in there and do it, man. And it just nothing there.
It's just that he's finding it hard to get past a certain level. He's getting sparked out before he can transcend to that next level that Vladimir did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Vladimir and David Price obviously doesn't have a trainer like Emmanuel Stewart to show him how to protect that chin.
Well, let's talk about it. He had Tommy Brooks, right? He had Tommy Brooks. They sacked Tommy Brooks, yeah, right? They sacked Tommy Brooks because they thought, nah, you know what, we don't need him to cut corners on prices. They thought it was paying him too much. See, Tommy would have fucking got that boy off his fucking seat and fucking made him fight, man. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson in the corner. I remember Tommy Brooks in Mike Tyson's corner.
Go ahead, Beats. I'm sorry.
He was in Mike Tyson's corner. He was doing the same thing. He was G'ing up Mike Tyson when Mike Tyson was fighting. But go ahead.
Well, the mistake he made is after the Thompson defeats, they diagnosed that Franny Smith was not they weren't progressing where they needed to be. He was there a long time. They got rid of him, got Tommy Brooks, and regardless if that was working or not, he shouldn't have went back to Franny Smith. If you diagnosed he was a problem, you shouldn't have went back. And then there was talk that he was a bit scared to go to America because he was going to get homesick. And look, when I hear stuff like that, you guys are probably right. If you're going to get homesick as a boxer because you don't want to, you miss eating a big plate of scouse and stuff like that, maybe you should retire.
I tell you, yeah, man, you can see it in his whole. Listen, the thing is, he's a Sky pundit. He's doing this, he's doing that. Is boxing his priority? I don't know, man. I don't think so.
And I thought he had Lennox Lewis as an advisor at one point. Was that him?
Lennox Lewis said he was too lazy, man. Lennox Lewis was too lazy.
That pretty much says it all right there.
There you go. And Lennox Lewis was one of Stewart's prime pupils. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he showed him how to protect that chin.
In saying that though, like I said, to give that guy his credit, he can't see the thing is, that guy Taper might not be the greatest fighter, but he knew his tactics from the start, and he wasn't going to divert. He got straight up on the guy's chest, high guard, and started working hooks. He said, yeah, you try tying me up with this hand, this left hand's going to hit you. And he stuck to his game plan and done what he had to do. And like his body language was all right, powerful, intense, and he got it done. And like I like his performance, man. He cut down the bigger man, and that's how you do it.
But the consistent theme with Price is he seems to me, whenever someone gets on inside on him, every time he seems to freeze up. He just doesn't know how to handle it, which makes him even more vulnerable, knowing his chin problems.
But that's the point, yeah. You see what Beast said there? The strategy of how to fight a bigger guy. That's what it is. He knows how to fight a bigger dude, man. That's what we're talking about here. Like the dude was a perfect strategy of how to fight a taller dude. He went in his chest and fucking started winging bombs. And you know that guy was in terrible shape, so you know he wasn't gonna go the distance. We saying 78.
What's up, bro? How y'all doing?
What up?
What's going on, brother?
Yeah,
Not much.
We're talking about Price, man. Price's fight when he just got knocked out in the second round. You see that?
Yeah, man, that was destructive, man. That was bad.
Yeah. We're talking about like how and where, what's he gonna do next? I just think he ain't got it no more. What's your take on that, man?
I don't think he ever had it. I think he just was a big guy, and with the heavyweight landscape, he was able to get away with his using his size to his advantage. You know what I mean? But as soon as he faced any resistance, he gonna fold up every time. Yeah. I don't think he can do it. If that guy like that can just flatten him, and he had no fear of him either. Like he had no fear of Price. He came in there like they look like Mike Tyson highlights from '84 or something. Man.
Yeah, that's right. That's what Beach was saying. That's what he did. Exactly how he did, man. Hey, 78, real quick. We was talking about Chavez and Chris Arroyo. What's your take on them two fights?
The Arreola fight, I missed all of the fights in the morning. I missed the Arreola fight. I missed the Frampton and the Quigg fight. I had went up to pay my last respects to the old gunslinger Brett Favre, retired yesterday, so I had to go up there and holler at him. Okay. Other than that, but then when I got back home, I seen the Chavez fight and the Amir Imam fight, but so I can't really speak on the fight. I gotta go watch it again.
How was the crowd reception, brother, in terms of Brett Favre? How was the crowd
Oh, it was
reception?
good, man. It was a lot of people crying. Shit, boy, I hope the camera didn't catch me, boy, because I was going some sniffing myself. Man, Favre was a legend, man. You had to be in Wisconsin to really get the effect of it, man.
Yeah, I was
I'm over
wondering
here
if
in
he.
Minnesota, man, and there's mad people still wearing Brett Favre jerseys. They don't give a damn, and they wearing the Green Bay jerseys. They ain't wearing no Vikings jerseys.
He retired. He retired a long time ago.
No, but they retired his jersey and
retired his jersey. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
It was sold out. You know, Lambeau Field was sold out and shit. Like everybody was out there. And then they had some other. I think they did something in the inside the building, but we couldn't get in there, so we just we head back home.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Hey, D-Stars, you see the prize fight then?
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead, man. What's your take on that, man?
Man, Price he just doesn't have it, man. Like, either you have it or you don't. The guy doesn't have it, and that's it. I mean, it's a wrap. If I'm not mistaken, hypothetically, if he would have beaten Tony Thompson, I mean, he was already on his way to get a title shot, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, look, yeah. I mean, he would have been high in the rankings, yeah.
The only way he could come back, he needs to beat the dude. Like, I forget the guy's name, but the guy who just knocked him out. He needs to beat that dude. Okay, in a rematch. He needs to just avenge that altogether, right? And
the guy he just lost to, you're sending him back in there again?
Yes, that's the only way he needs to confront Spears.
No, D-Stars. Don't do that. The man's stiffing up his legs.
If he doesn't confront his fears now, then he's done, man. It's just like,
bro.
He tried that with Tony Thompson.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Let me tell you, this is gonna be the shit with Shane Mosley. He did that shit twice. He didn't learn to listen.
If I not that dude, I'd go back in. Oh yeah, come back in. You got another one. But I was saying,
in other words, he's got to confront his fears, man. It's just the way it is, you know. Like, Klitschko had to fight, you know, what's his name?
Brewster.
Yeah, you know. So at some point,
Peter again that had him all over the ring, flopping all over the ring.
Because he looks scared in that ring, man. Like, he needs to confront his fears. If not, then he's just not in him. If he can't fight this dude and beat him, then he shouldn't be in the fight game anymore. It's a wrap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The guy's unbeaten, man. Leave me for though. Like
that guy coming out of shape, man. That guy was fighting out.
Yeah,
he was fighting.
He's a lot stronger than what he looks. He probably made it a lot better.
That guy came in that way, yeah, because he didn't even train. He knew he had to fight that way to get that big dude out there. I know that because he knew he was out of shape. If that fight went into like 6, the guy would have been gassed, man. Guy had titties and everything, man. Price was a prime, strong athlete, yeah, but he ain't got no bloody technical skills on how to deal with a bloody blobber. Lennox Lewis would have killed that dude, man. As soon as that fat guy came in them swinging, he would have got him with an uppercut straight away in his face, and I go, oh shit, and then pushed him back and then dropped that.
Look how Lennox handled David Toole, man. That was easy work.
Easy work, man. Easy work, man. Laugh your head off and just.
What kind of fighters ain't fucking with Lennox Lewis?
Man, you're the big guy running around the ring, skirting around the ring. Look how big he is. You control the center of the ring. He got no confidence, nothing. But I hear what D-Stars is right. You need to go back in there. But boy, shit, same thing's gonna happen again. But
when a kid falls off a bike, you tell him to get on that bike and keep right. Like, he needs to get back in that ring ASAP and fight if he's going to continue fighting.
Yeah. I mean, Shane Mosley did it, and he did better in both of the second fights, but he still lost.
Yeah. Hey, Michael, what's your take, man? Fight over there.
Natty pretty much spoke it for me. Again, I think he doesn't. I don't think he has the heart. I don't think he has the courage. I don't think he really wants to do it right now. You talking about fighting him again? He did that before. He got knocked out. I just don't think his heart is fully in it. Again, like I said before, it's not just the chin; it's the technical aspects of him. When fighters get close to him, he freezes up. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to hold. He doesn't know how to fight effectively at arm's length for a complete fight. And until he fixes all that, there's no future for him. None.
Yeah. Every fighter gonna be watching this tape, man.
And learn, and you know, it's like in the NFL when one team figures you out, everybody copycats.
Yo, well, listen to this. The blueprint on it was a long time ago. If you still, that was the main Stavern in the amateurs against Price, and he was bashing him around from time to. The blueprint was there a long time ago.
And Camarel beat him as well, like give him a good beating.
The blueprint was there. And listen, you guys talking about Joshua. Man, listen, Joshua gets hit like that, he gonna go down as well, because he ain't took a punch either. And you guys over there, everyone knows blowing up Joshua, he still hasn't took a punch yet as a pro. So you don't know.
I don't know if I'm blowing up Joshua. I just think Joshua would have sparked Price too.
Everyone's saying that, like, nah, man. In this game, you see, but like this guy, you see, either you get hit or he gets hit, and who goes down first? Because remember, it's the heavyweights. If I hit you first and I hit hard, and we both hit hard, I'm gonna take you up first. So it's the guy who keeps hitting you and breaking you down, and that's all it is.
People only remember boxing. They only remember the bling on the belts and the bling from the medals. David Price had 2 touch-and-go decisions in that Olympics they won.
I mean, look how hard that David Price can punch.
The only thing, EJ, with that logic, I mean, you could say that about any prospect. You know, he hasn't been hit yet, so we can't believe in him yet. I mean, I don't know, but is Joshua eventually going to get popped in the mouth and we're going to see what he's made of? Sure, but so far so good. I mean, it's not a bad thing that he hasn't been hit yet. You know.
That's true. But it's true. But, you know, we'll see. With Dillian, I'm going to be covering that fight back to back. Let's move on quick, right? Hope you guys saw in England, Scott Quigg knocking over Kiko Martinez in the second round, boy. Like, and I looked at that fight. I don't care what they tell me. Kiko was done a long time ago. But it's still impressive because no one's ever did that to Kiko. Kiko was beating him up in the first round as well. And then Quigg timed the uppercut and then just knocked him, beat him up. But man, you see them getting all excited, running around the thing. But I don't like Quigg, man. What's your guys' take on it, man? I don't like Quigg.
You know, they're gonna be making a big deal out of this. Like you said, Kiko is kind of past it now. I think Frampton beat a better Kiko Martinez twice. Mm-hmm. But however, nobody's gonna care about that shit. All they care about is who won better. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna do any backstory. They're just gonna say Quigg knocked out Kiko in 2, and Frampton went the distance with him one time and knocked him out in 9 the other time. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna build up the fight between them two right there. But I mean, he did what he was supposed to do, man. I think Kiko has seen his best days. You know what I mean? He's on his last leg. He's becoming an opponent at this point.
Yeah. What's your take? Anyone got any take on that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, D-Star.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said I had no take.
Oh, shit. Go ahead.
Amongst my circles on Twitter, because I was doing some live tweeting of both bouts, the Quigg bout and the Frampton bout, yesterday afternoon, because I was able to see both live. The Quigg bout created more of a buzz than the Frampton bout. The question was, when will Quigg get a signature victory that will make everybody say, whoa? And yeah, Kiko Martinez was old, but hey, Quigg, he took him out. As soon as he stepped on the gas and hit him and hurt him, he took him out. So that deserves some credit there. Now, as far as a potential Quigg-Frampton bout, I don't want to go overboard with the win. I'm not going to go overboard with the win because it's still up in the air to me about those two. Because Frampton, he does some things in there, particularly with that jab. He has one of the best jabs, one of the best left hands in the sport as far as I'm concerned. That could give Scott Quigg problems. But on the other hand, you know, if a tall, long fighter like Alejandro Gonzalez could give Frampton some troubles here and there, imagine what a more experienced and more seasoned Quigg could do. So again, you know, it's a good performance. He did some good things. He did what he was supposed to do. But in terms of him all of a sudden saying that this victory means he can whoop Carl Frampton and whatnot, I'm not so sure of that. And besides, in the aftermath, I'm hearing that Quigg may fight Nonito Donaire later on this year.
Good.
I would mind seeing that bout. That would be a good bout too.
Yeah, I was gonna get onto that. Nonito Donaire, he had a fight on the same night he beat some dude real quick as well. But that's the fight I want to see right there. Because Donito will beat. I got Donito beating the shit out of him. I don't rate Quigg too much, man. I think they've been giving him stiffs. The guy has to just roll over, man. I interviewed this guy called Thingy Money, an African dude. See, he only got the fight on a short notice. I mean, he took the fight, and the same with Kiko. They took the fight. If they wasn't in their right state of mind, they shouldn't take the fight. And Scott Quigg's is doing what he's supposed to do. But I'm not impressed, man. I ain't impressed with
What I want to know is this, because Frampton was being interviewed by Showtime, and they're asking about Leo Santa Cruz and about Scott Quigg, and when they talk to Santa Cruz, they're talking about Frampton and Scott Quigg. When they talk about Quigg, they're talking about Frampton. You know, yada yada yada. But like, they just pretend that this dude from Cuba, Guillermo Rigondeaux, like doesn't exist or something.
Yeah. And that's on purpose because they neither of them want to fight him.
Hopefully, Rigondeaux signs with All Haven, man, and we'll see some of these fights. All of a sudden, his name will be mentioned. You know, that's all I'm going to say.
I'll tell you what, yeah, I like Donnie. Donnie today has fought the very best. He lost to Rigondeaux, he lost to Nicholas Waters. And I tell you what, Frampton saying he might move up to featherweight. Yeah, mate, Waters be waiting for you nicely for a nice payday. Move up to featherweight, man. I mean, listen, bro. These dudes, they got, actually Scott Quigg seemed quite big for the weight class, so they could move up to featherweight. But wherever you go in, you're in trouble. I think Donito there could probably beat Quigg, but we have to see it though. Hey, what's your guys' take on
who do you think could be most successful at 26, Quigg or Frampton?
I think Quigg's probably got the better body for it, man. He's taller. He can probably fit in the weight properly, but he's not that good either, man. I don't know. People are well excited about it. I think whatever, mate. You know what I mean? Frampton beat the shit out of him in the last fight, man. Frampton beat the stuffing out of him in the last fight, and then I don't know why they're getting excited, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just anyway. You know what? Let's move on, right? You know, there's some other fights in England. I'm not even gonna talk about because some of you guys are gonna talk. So let's talk about next week. Let's move on. It's not really been a good, exciting fight week. So let's move on. So we've got next week, Saturday. We got Crolla versus this guy. What's his name? Mohammed?
No talk of the Darleys Perez bout?
No, not Perez. His name's Mohammed. What's his name? Remember the Mohammed?
No, I'm talking about the other fight on the Quigg card, the main event. The Perez, the lightweight bout. You're not gonna talk about that?
No. I'm not gonna talk about it. No one else knows apart from me, you and Beats about Crolla. You talking about Andy Crolla, yeah? Yeah. With I don't talk about it. That's not. Let's talk about Sergio Colvin. Let's get some meat in it. So next Saturday, let's talk about in Las Vegas, HBO, Sergio Colvin versus Nadir Mohammed, whatever his name is. He's ranked number 9 or something like that. He's ranked number 9 in light heavyweight division. Also on the undercard is Dean Pascal's fighting as well. I'm interested in this fight, man. I mean, Colvin's probably gonna beat the dude up real quick though, but it should be interesting. What's your guys? Anyone got anything to say about that? Colvin would get his ass knocked out, but I doubt it'll happen though. But still.
Is that Najib Mohammadi or something like that?
Yeah, that's it. There you go.
Yes.
I mean, I don't even know. I never seen that guy fight, so.
The only fight I've seen was, I believe, the Cleverly bout. Listen, based on, I thought he fought cleverly. He could have fought somebody else, but I thought he fought cleverly.
Okay.
But based on from what I've seen, limited from what I've seen of him, he may give Kovalev some problems, but at the end of the day, Kovalev is just it's too much. He's on such a roll. I really like how he's rounded out as a fighter. I love the patience and the jab and the discipline he showed against Hopkins. He's getting better and better. And I just think at the end of the day, he will be too much for this guy. I think he will stop him by mid-late rounds.
Anyone else, man? Anyone else take on that?
Yeah, I think Kovalev will stop him, man. I don't really see anybody. I mean, a couple of guys that could possibly beat Kovalev. I think Adonis Stevenson might be able to beat him, and Andre Ward might be able to beat him if he comes up. You know. Other than that, these other guys I don't think are a threat to Kovalev at all. I don't see it.
I agree, man. What's up, Beats?
bullshit match. I'm expecting this Kovalev to win, isn't it? Really, nothing more than that.
Yeah.
Right.
Layups, man. Layup fight. I mean, I think the only competitive fight on that side is the Las Vegas NBC Sports. One is the what's his name again? Berman Shubinov versus BJ Flores.
Yeah, I cannot get a read on that fight, to be honest with you, because
you don't come with no trainer, man. That shit's funny, bro.
It's not just that for me. Does BJ Flores, is his heart really in it? I think he has one. I think he's more. See, the question is his heart really behind the mic, or his heart really in the ring? Because if it's in the ring, if he's there 100%, he can beat Shumanov. But I just don't know if he's fully invested in boxing right now, in the ring.
When's the last time he fought, BJ? When's the last time BJ fought, man?
I can't remember. I can't answer.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. And who can this stinking fight? And you know what? Yeah, the weekend there's some other fights, but I'm never gonna mention the best thing happened in boxing. We might as well even just bypass that. And that's in 2 weeks' time. Danny Garcia versus Paulie Malignaggi, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that right there. That's an interesting fight. Paulie could pull that one off against Danny, man. But boxing right now is we're gonna see some fights in that, but they're nothing really to get your teeth into.
Yeah, the next couple of weeks.
It's a slow.
It's dry. It's dry.
It is, man. There's some fights here. I'm not gonna lie, but like over in the UK, we got some world title fights and that. Frank Burnley, but I couldn't even mention it. It's boring, man. It's boring. Like it's just this.
You know why? Because it's the welterweight division is just bullshit, man. Like you got all these fighters and possible matches, but none of them are signing to fight each other. They're not in negotiations to fight each other. We still don't know who Mayweather fighting, and that's like what 5-6 weeks away. Then Amir Khan been out. He hasn't announced an opponent. Kell Brook hasn't announced an opponent. Sean Porter. Like, it would be more exciting if we knew that we were getting some good fights in a few months. You know what I mean?
And I don't like that. I don't like them waiting on the Mayweather sweepstakes. They should be able to. They should fight each other and set their own future, set their own mark to set the future of the welterweight division.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there wasting time.
Well, look, Pacquiao's
space. I mean, come on, man.
Pacquiao's on the sidelines as well. Where's Pacquiao? Pacquiao just showed the shit. Like, Sevi, I saw your video faking the funk over there with Pacquiao on the shoulder injury. Damn right, he spend that money. He ain't gonna go no rehab, and there's nothing wrong with his shoulder. I agree.
The biggest problem is people think it's just because everyone's waiting around for the Mayweather fight. I think it's a bigger symptom than that. I think after Mayweather and Pacquiao retire, you're going to see a lot of these guys playing politics like, this guy ain't done enough, or I deserve this or this, and then I'm not going to take that fight because of that. You're going to just see a lot more of that. A lot more of that. I can see a lot more of that to come. And that's where the Eastern Bloc countries are going to steal on all the other westernized countries.
Go ahead.
Just looking at the schedule, the only thing that really has me halfway excited is the Groves and Badu Jack later this month. Next month. That's late August. That's late August.
That's how far you gotta go. That's how far you gotta go to find
that's far as I gotta go. For me, that's as far as I can go. And that's towards the end of August. But the rest of that for the next month or so, the sport is gonna be really dry.
Like Amir Khan, man, he's the craziest dude. Amir Khan was talking to IFL London today, and he was explaining away the Brook fight. We expected that, and he kept mentioning the fighters he's beat, and he said Bradley about twice. Like, I think he actually thinks he's beaten Bradley. I don't know if he's taking too much punches to the head.
Wait, what?
Well, he said he
no, he didn't beat.
No, I know he didn't, but he was mentioning all the fights who's been in with, and he kept mentioning Bradley. I was thinking, you mentioned him twice, like you fought him.
How you gonna mention him when you never fought the dude?
That's how you trick the casuals, man. You trick them like that by just saying shit. I mean, nobody's gonna hold him accountable, so he can get away with that kind of shit.
That's why I can't with this dude. I just can't. That's why he annoys me so.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I don't want Floyd to fight this guy, man, because I'm looking at the. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna be honest for the first time about this Khan shit. I don't want Floyd to fight Khan because First of all, I don't like the way Khan has went about this shit and getting this fight. He's too eager to get the fight, and if anybody thinks that Floyd Mayweather is a cherry picker and a ducker, I'm telling you right now, if Amir Khan was able to beat Floyd Mayweather, man, it would be the worst cherry picking shit you ever seen in your life ever. This guy, if he gets to that top spot, you ain't gonna be able to tell him shit. I mean, Kell Brook, everybody, Keith Thurman, he not fighting them guys, man. This dude is gonna sit back and I'm telling you, you're gonna see a whole lot of weird ass fights. You might see him fight Adrian Bronner or some shit, you know. But
Khan's thirsty ass doesn't deserve the fight. Bottom line, he doesn't.
Hey, you know what? I'm thinking the Pacquiao Mayweather fight shouldn't have happened, you know, because it's like a hangover. Because before it was happening, it was just like, oh, when they gonna fight? But now it's happened. It's like we're in a hangover. The PBC cards are good in that one, you know. That it's nothing. Hey man, there's nothing. I'm just like, boys. There's Chavez, the scene there, and that. Some of these dudes need to just. Someone needs to grab the sport by the balls, man, and just be the leader. Because Mayweather's is on his way out. Pacquiao, we don't know where he is. Who's the leader? Who's the bright light coming through that we can't wait?
Well, they all. I mean, like I'm saying, they all waiting around. They all waiting around, man. They're not doing enough for their career right now, and if the guys just, you know. If they need to just ignore Mayweather, man. Let Mayweather come to you, man.
Fight each other. The other guys need to fight each other.
Their excuse is there's not enough money in the pot. There's not enough money. There's more risk and reward that's just playing in there.
I just want to add real quick. I mean, this is the season, like right now, when boxing should be going all out. I mean, there's no NFL, there's no NBA.
Thank you.
I mean, there's no major sports going on right now, really. I mean, so this is where boxing needs to shine around this time, you know, and it's not, you know. So soon enough, all the casuals, most of the attention is going to go to football, you know. So
yeah, I mean, shit, MMA is kicking ass right now. Like MMA got like a lot of rising stars right now.
Just think about it, fellas. Just think about it, fellas. There's more coverage. I was gonna say there's been more coverage this week of Ronda Rousey calling out Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
In the ring stuff.
Yeah, she said.
Come on.
She goes, Mike Tyson. She goes, Mayweather should copy Mike Tyson. I don't know what she talking about. She must be smoking something, bro. What's she talking about? She crazy, man. Mayweather was successful in business and everything. What's she talking about? I don't know why I don't know. Who let her near the mic to be saying stuff stupidness?
Yeah, but she won't even fight Chris Cyborg. She's scared of Cyborg and shit. But she keeps talking about fighting some grown ass man and shit, man. You know, it's just that's why I can't stand the media, man. The media is just so full of shit. Like every time Floyd turn around, they asking him about this woman beater shit, but then they keep in the same breath they promoting this. I think Ronda Rousey could beat him up shit, and this is a woman. You know what I mean? Like I would feel absolutely no sympathy if she just some dude slapped the fuck out of her. I wouldn't because
Wait a minute, I don't know about all. I'm not an advocate of that, so I'm not
saying that she should get beat up in some domestic dispute. I'm not talking about domestic violence. I'm talking about.
What do you mean, Beats? I am. What you saying, Beats?
Listen, man, I don't care who it is, man. If you're talking like you about it, a left hook is no problem. The left hook shouldn't have no gender in them if people want to fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you claiming that you can beat these men and you keep entertaining the idea of fighting men, you remove yourself from the feminine protection. Okay? And if the media gonna keep hyping this shit up, then you know, if you can beat a man, then you need to go in there and fight Chris Cyborg. Stop being scary.
I'd rather see that.
Chris,
because I'd rather see that. She's not gonna. She's giving up.
I think Chris Cyborg is a man, dude.
Wow.
Chris Cyborg man, she's been on steroids since forever, man. She's basically a man now.
Yeah.
You know what though? Like I think
shouldn't get involved in.
I don't even know why people take this SD shit serious. To be honest, man.
Yeah. Some bullshit, man.
Whatever.
Man,
I mean,
listen, I still say she shouldn't have got that water over Serena, but that's just my opinion.
in fairness to her, though, I mean, it's not like she's going out saying I can beat Floyd. That's what they're asking her. They keep asking her, you think you can take Floyd? You think you can take Floyd Mayweather? You think you can fight? Like, it's just a random thing.
That's what I'm saying. The media. That's why I said the media keeps hyping up this idea of this woman fighting this man, but at the same time they criticizing this man for allegedly hitting on a woman, and it's like the stupidest shit I've ever heard, man.
I think what the media needs to do is they need to stop living in this fantasy world where, and I'm just keeping it real, where it's like this prestigious thing to be a woman that could beat up a man,
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and it kind of gives little girls like a false sense of entitlement or something. Like I see little girls around here just hitting little boys all the time, and they think they can get away with it. That's what they're being taught, man. Like, it's insane. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey man, but MMA, like you said, MMA, the money they made on Conor McGregor and what's his name again? They didn't even make half as much as they do in boxing. Boxing still makes a lot. Man, I think someone needs to knock the Klitschko out. That's all I care. Tyson needs to knock the Klitschko out.
There's something I wanted to mention though, because UFC and boxing get compared a lot.
Yeah, and it should, because they're two separate sports. The comparison is ignorant. It's ignorant.
I get that, but my point is they get compared a lot regardless. So, and what you always hear is, well, look at the UFC. They have to shit together. One champion and one organization, one this, one that. Why can't boxing do that? And when somebody in boxing, like, I don't know, like Al Heyman or somebody like that, tries to take over shit to run shit, he gets criticized.
Yep.
And it's like, somebody take over the shit, Like, the way it's running right now, it's chaotic, man. Like, it's all these fighters with different promoters, shit can't happen, and you gotta, like, jump hoops and all this other crazy shit to make a fight happen. If you're about, like, let's just take, let's do it like the UFC does it, then you should, like, support what Al Heyman's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've seen, he's not exploiting and undermining and underpaying him like Dana White is doing in MMA and UFC. So
yeah, he definitely underpaid him. But like Reebok, though, they can't make no money.
Look, man, Amir Khan is eating well out of fighting Chris Algieri. Like.
You were saying something, Beach, yeah?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm saying, like, these guys are getting paid relatively well without having to challenge themselves, like fighting each other. So why are they going to? Why are they going to? I mean,
Sure.
Amir Khan was how much numbers he did against Algieri, and he doesn't need the Brook fight. There's $4 million on the table, and like, how hungry could he be if he can turn that down?
He made $4 million
No, there was $4 million on the table to fight Brook, and he turned it down. So how hungry can he really be?
I heard it entertaining that right now, though. I heard he's entertaining it. I heard he's actually.
No, he was just on IFL London, man. He's saying if he's still looking for the Mayweather fight. He was kissing Mayweather's ass.
He needs to chill.
Retracting his comments. I didn't really mean that Mayweather's ruining his legacy. I didn't mean it like that. This is what I really meant to say. Kissing his ass and shit. So I don't see the Brook fight happening. No,
yeah, it was. Even though yesterday, I have to say, I was watching the Quigg bout and Darleys Perez bout with can't remember his name. My mind's freezing right now. But they interviewed Brook, and he said that they're entertaining the bout. He said it was a possibility that the card bout could be made.
They're on their side. They're just spinning some spin. Beats already got in. They got the eye for an interview, so.
You know what, though? That language in boxing, it's a possibility. It might. It's on the table. Like, I just don't take that serious, personally. In this sport, man, I just don't.
Hey, Don King's video with Radio Raheem's really good, man. Talking about racism and Al Heyman and boxing, pretty good, man. Y'all have to check it out, Radio Raheem. You see it, Sevier? Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, the other day.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah, he was telling the truth, man. I mean, it is what it is, man. Like, it just always amazes me, man. I gotta stop being amazed by this shit too, because it says, like, people will say, you know, if you're black and you like Al Heyman, or you say something nice about Heyman or Mayweather or something, then it's because you're black and you're racist and you just you know, you're sticking up for black people, you know. But if you're non-black and you dislike those guys, then you're not racist. You're just a real boxing fan. It's like, what the fuck is that shit, man? Get out of here with this stupid shit, man. Like, who's biased and who's unbiased and all that dumb shit, man. It's just stupid. Like, Heyman, and I said a million times, I don't know what the dude is up to. You know, I don't know, but it's too early to. I mean, the guy hasn't done any interviews or anything. So, what is your real reason for disliking him? Nobody has been able to effectively tell me why they dislike this guy. What has he done? What has he said wrong? You can't say he said shit because he don't do any interviews. So what is it? You know, it's just I saw one guy in my comment section trying to defend Bob Arum. He told me that he got mad because I said Don King was the best promoter, boxing promoter ever. He's like, oh, King's not the best promoter, and you know, Bob Arum has done more than Don King and this and that. Like, man, shut the fuck up, man. I don't think it's even an argument that Don King is the best boxing promoter
ever.
I mean, I don't even think that's an argument. Is it that an argument?
No, there's not. No.
And those Don King cards, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you would see Tyson and Chavez like in the same card.
Exactly, man. Like fucking Tyson and like, man, Don King put everything together. And then he made a good point in that video too about Tavares Cloud. He said, what other promoter can get Tavares Cloud 3 title fights in a row when he lost every one of them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good point.
Yeah, it's true, man. That's some shit. He gave me opportunity, you know, and hey, if you lose, you lose. But he gave the man the opportunity. It's the main thing. I mean, he was the one who put the Sphinx, made the Sphinx the undisputed welterweight champion when he beat Mayorga. And he put the heavyweight tournament to make Mike Tyson the undisputed heavyweight as well, and Bernard Hopkins and Trinidad, right?
Yeah.
Done all them things there, man. So. I don't know, man. It's just ways. It's just Hey, you guys got any big topics we can bring up? Or?
Oh, I want to say this real quick, man. Check out for those of y'all who watch MMA, man. Pay attention and check out this guy named Michael Venom Page, man. Check out this guy Michael Page, MVP. He's a beast, man. He's still young and fighting this shit, but this dude is a beast, man. I like him. I think he's gonna be real good. He fought on Bellator recently. He's over there at Bellator. So you gotta get a chance. Look him up, Michael Page. He's from the UK. He's raw.
That's deep, you know. Like no boxing until we gotta mention MMA. That's deep, Sevi.
Well, you know, I fuck with him.
I'm gonna check it out. But I'm just saying, no one's got no boxing. Hey, it's all combat anyway. Fuck it. Like,
what y'all think of Amir Imam? You already talked about him.
Yeah, what's your take on the Amir man, man?
I mean, I think I like him, man. I like him. You know, I was looking to see different things from him, and I think I'm impressed by his composure, man, under pressure, and he's like real wise and shit, and ring smart. And then he can fight on the inside. He rolls around real good. You know, he got that James Toney shit going on. So I like it. You know, I like him. I think he's gonna be good, man. And I seen after the fight, he was talking shit about Adrian Broner and Danny Garcia. That's good. We need more of that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is the era of the call-outs. Everybody calling everybody out, but we ain't getting the fights made. So, you know.
Check it out, man. I want to read you this terrible Don King card. Check it out. So, Chavez versus Frankie Randall. Azuma Nelson versus Jesse James Leija. Jared McLennan versus Julian Jackson.
What's that? Who versus Julian Jackson?
Garcia. That was Gerald McLennan versus Julian Jackson.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Lopez versus Carmine Garcia. And Brown versus Terry Norris. All this is the same night.
And that's one card. One card.
Check this out. Look, Taylor versus Julio Cesar Chavez. Frankie Randolph versus Juan Martin Kogi. Felix Trinidad versus Luis Ramon Campas. I mean, seriously, dude, like, these cards were amazing. They were amazing cards.
Wow.
Yeah, but people will tell you that the King is...
Like, this is how I know fans, like, they just started watching boxing. When I hear stupid shit like, Well, it's in boxing they only give you one good fight, and the rest, promoters have always done that. They've always given you crappy fights in the undercard. That's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had to do that because Mike Tyson was in jail, was in prison, but at least he did it. He had to make those cards to,
Well, I remember some
make up for Tyson being in prison. Well, yeah, you're right. Like Simon Brown, Maurice Blocker, their unification bout was on the undercard of Tyson Ruddock 1. He had some power pack cards too, but once Tyson went to prison, he really put on some monster cards. I have to give him credit for that.
That's why even though Tyson knocked the dude out in the first round, you still got a card, man. You still got an action-packed card, the whole night.
Wow. I did a video recently, all the cards you're talking about when I said he was the greatest promoter. I mentioned all them cards in the 90s, Ruddock, Tyson, Nelson, and all types of different fighters on one card, star fighters. Like McClellan was on one, I think one of them cards you called out, even Jerry McClellan was having one of his warm-up fights on it, so even in hindsight, it turned out to be, Yeah, King
I mean, even in the Chavez Haugen bout, he had McClellan and a young Trinidad in warm-up bouts on that same card in Mexico. So you have to give him credit. You have to give King credit for that. I might have small issues with him, but as a promoter, he was a beast.
I think whatever he did, he screwed fighters over. All promoters do that. So.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. This is the thing. They all do that. They all taking pieces of the cake out of the fighter. That's the way it is. That's why Mayweather, they hate Mayweather so much, because he changed the game. He's basically controlling his end. And look, he's even got his own fighters. He's still merchandise. He's raping. He's doing what people didn't think fighters could do. Most people used to look on fighters like they were stupid. Mayweather was kind of changing that, but he's still trying to say he can't read. But fuck it, he's earning millions. I don't know why they keep...
I think you said.
The reason I brought this up was because whoever was saying that Bob Arum is better than Don King, I mean, this is a Bob Arum model now of the whole. Just give them the main event because they're going to buy the event anyway, and just give them a crappy undercard and put those other fights on HBO or Showtime. That's a Bob Arum thing. That he's the one that he's the reason boxing fans think it's just the way it is. You get one main event and the rest of the fights suck. Everybody just goes by it. That's just the way they do it in boxing. That's just.
I'll tell you what. If Don King had done the Mayweather and Pacquiao, he would have stacked. At least he would have stacked the undercard, because that was bad for him. Because that was a stinking. I know he was. They could have stacked. They could have Errol Spence versus Furman. They could have stacked that. They could have put Rigondeaux versus someone. They could have really done something with that. Look, the whole world was watching that mega event, right? In May, the whole world was watching it. They should have put some fucking heavy stack cards.
Are you kidding, man? Most of Twitter that night was pissed and raising hell about the undercard.
They could have stacked the undercard and stuff like that. Just let the whole thing just go.
I mean, when you would bring that up, though, when I did a video about that, and it was boxing fans that were saying, "Oh, come on, boxing's a business. So why would they do that?"
Yeah. That business stuff. Boxing is a business stuff. Come back to bite people in the ass all the time.
That's the
Bob Arum that started that shit. Really.
That's the problem, though. Really, is that everybody especially with the internet, everybody knows everything. People don't before boxers didn't get advice. Before you get in the ring, you need a good lawyer. Any guy who's going in there now who's worth something is going to get a good lawyer. A good lawyer is going to tell him to go here and do that and do this and don't do that. And so it's a very litigious, compensation-led culture. It's really hard to get boxers to do what they used to do in 2015. It's really hard. Yeah. Even a boxer isn't all that.
2015, man. I don't know what these dudes are. Hey, listen, man. They just got to beat. Hey, let's talk about this. Hey, let's talk about this Berto and Floyd thing, man. Do you guys really think that's gonna happen? I
don't think it's gonna happen, man. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think Floyd's joking around, man. I don't think he's just trying to whine.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's just Floyd never came out and said that he picked Berto.
No.
It's just been leaked out there, but I think it's gonna be Khan, man.
I hope not. I hope not. I hope not.
You know what? I hope it's Khan, man. Let's get this over and done with.
I would rather.
There's some people in England, they think Khan can win. They go, oh, his style's all right.
Man, like this is, you know, like if whenever you put like an average looking girl next to a pretty girl, she's kind of up there, right?
Yeah.
They're showing us one ugly bitch, and then when it shows the average looking girl, then she's gonna look all right.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. Exactly what's gonna happen, man. You know, but me personally, I would rather see him fight Berto than Khan. Because I don't want to see Khan get the fight, but
why?
You know,
listen, given how Khan acted now, if he gets the fight, he gonna act complete fool. I don't want to see that.
I don't know why you guys don't. I want to see the fight.
Fight though, if Khan gets the fight, it's gonna set an ugly precedent. Like as far as
why are you guys hating on Khan? I don't understand. Why you don't let him get the fight? The guy wants to fight Mayweather. Everyone else has got a shot. Why can't?
Man, I don't trust Khan.
You Americans are hardcore. I understand. Like,
nah, man, it ain't about the American because I would take the Kell Brook fight any day of the week.
Absolutely.
Kell Brook don't deserve it though. Kell Brook don't deserve it. Amir Khan probably deserves it.
Kell Brook, come on now, he deserves it.
What's he done up from Porter?
He deserves it because this is boxing, and Mayweather's not no. He's not God. He's a champion. And Kell Brook is a champion, so that's why he deserves it. It's as simple as that.
Amir Khan, yeah. If Amir Khan and Mayweather fight, I guarantee they'll make it into an event because Amir Khan's mouth and Mayweather's mouth, when they start getting in on each other, they'll make it into an event. That's what you want to see. If it's Kell Brook, mate, go, come on, Queen Khan. He hasn't got no personality, man. You know what I mean? You need that.
I'll tell you this. I think Floyd, it's cool, you know, you're making his money, all that. That's fine, dandy. But I think. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
Yeah.
I thought it froze up on me. But I think he's losing touch with the average fan. I think he's like he becoming an elitist because even with the Pacquiao fight, I was pissed off because I want to go to that fight and be there live for the historical purposes and shit. But I kind of felt like the average boxing fan who built this fight for the last 5 years, we got kind of shut out, and it was just for rich people. It was like, okay, we're not going to even announce the fight until it's too late. You know what I mean? All the fucking hotels in Vegas is booked, and they overcharge $1,600 on all this punk ass shit. Yeah. And then it was just ridiculous and absurd. And now, okay, Mayweather's last fight. All right, we want to come and support him. Who are you fighting? All right, this is the last time. Maybe we get to see you in the ring. All right, what about? It's not just about having to fight on free TV, but the average fan should be able to come and see you fight. All right, and I think it's unfair. It's 5 weeks left for the fight, and if you choose Khan, his fans, rich people will be able to, at the drop of a dime, say, hey, I'm going to go spend $10,000 to go see Floyd. But the average fan is not going to be able – you got to make a couple of adjustments and find out which bill you ain't going to pay this month to go see the shit. You know what I mean? You can't just fucking 5 weeks left, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to Vegas and fly to another country. And come on, man. It's just nonsense. It's nonsense. Just say who you're going to fight, and if it's going to be Berto, that's one thing. But if it's going to be Khan, then he should have already said it's going to be Khan and at least get fans an opportunity to get over here.
And I agree. You know what? I think the whole promotional thing, let it be. They handled it wrong. They missed it. That they missed the ball. They missed it. They didn't care about the rights of it. They didn't care about the fans. They didn't care about none of that shit. They didn't care. They missed it. The ball's gone. You could have. Who did they build from the? Lomachenko was on the undercard. Like, anyone give a shit? No one even cared.
Yeah, I don't even remember who was on the undercard, to be honest with you.
That's terrible, man. They missed it.
Lomachenko was on there, and Santa Cruz, who fights nobody, he was on there. So
yeah, I remember now. Santa Cruz fucking fighting a cab driver, literally, right? Didn't he literally fight a cab driver?
Pretty much.
Didn't even know. An overdrive. And down in the PVC, man. I'm glad we're getting the PVC, man, and more of it. But boys, there, and it's just there, man. We
they step up their game because this is prime time, and once the NFL starts, once college football starts,
we'll see in it. I'm still going. I tell you what, yeah. When the thing is, yeah, the same fan watch college football and college, but they're the same fans. I watch college football and I'm the boxing as well. You know, you're gonna watch both of them. It ain't
Nah, bro. That's not everybody here stateside. Not everybody. Not every football. Nah.
I have a hard time getting guys to. If boxing is on and MMA is on the same night, I have a hard time convincing people to watch boxing. I mean, it's just ridiculous to the point where I gotta go home and watch the fight myself because my boys and shit be like, "Oh, who fighting in boxing?" And I tell them, and they're like, "Oh man, but the UFC card, man, I want to see such and such." And I'm like, "Man, dude."
I go to NFL games yearly, multiple games a year, and your average NFL fan, they're not necessarily watching boxing, so nah.
I watch NFL games. I still watch the boxing as well. That's what I'm saying.
But that's here. That's there. You're there. You're not here. You're not here. It's different.
You watch them and watch boxing as well, don't you?
That's me, but I'm different.
That's what I'm saying. No, you see, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is what I'm saying. They watch it and they still watch the other one. That's what I'm saying.
The visibility of your average 30-something, 25 to 35-year-old man, they didn't see boxing on the regular like they saw the NFL. That's what I'm saying. So
man, I'm telling you, man. They all watch everything
because it wasn't on network television. Yeah, it was on Friday Night Fights, but the ratings was so okay. It was only so high, you know. NFL, as I kept telling you before last time I was on here, NFL is a beast. It's a beast. Not every NFL fan is a boxing fan. I'm just telling you from experience here.
What I'm saying is that they're gonna work around it. You see how it goes, innit? Like I said. The way the football schedule goes, after it, Alejandro's not going to be competing with the NFL. He's not going to do that. He's going to wait.
He's not going to have a choice, Errol. Like, he's not going to have a choice. Like, in other words, boxing on Saturday.
If he keeps airing bouts on Saturday afternoon and evening, he has no choice but to compete with the NFL and college football. No way around it.
Like, this is literally football, like, from Sunday afternoon all the way up to like Sunday night. In fact, Monday night.
And it's not just the week. It's not just the weekend. They have football shows practically every day of the week during the season.
I guarantee
different shows.
We'll see though. I don't think so. He's gonna put them on the same time. And look, you can see by the schedule anyway. The schedule's thin anyway. The schedule's thin, so it's not like there's anything major or happening in the schedule.
That's why they're dropping the ball. They should be hitting folks hard, heavy, good bouts now to set up the fall.
Yeah, well.
All the fights are hitting too well, man. All the top contenders.
Good.
What was that, Beats? I'm sorry. What was that?
Top contenders, champions, they've all got good legal advice and everything, and they're eating well. They're not. I mean, there's no incentive for them to do any more than what they're doing for the boxers right now. At this moment, there's no incentive.
Yeah, but if those ratings drop and boxing starts getting his ass kicked by other programming that's on at the same hour, then that whole PBC can fall apart, man. The whole thing can fall apart, and the money ain't gonna look the same no more after that. You know, they gotta be successful with this situation now. They're in a unique position. They gotta be successful now, and they gotta promote this shit the right way.
And that's why I'm putting such an emphasis on it, because I wanted to survive. I wanted to survive badly.
Hey, let me tell you this, because I was able to sign up some European fights. So he got Joshua Lucia going against Linda Rose, and he's also got James DeGale, and he got Carl Frampton. So what you do in that time when that's happening, you bring the PBC overseas, innit? And then because the Europe, obviously the market over here is big. You could, obviously Carl Frampton and the thing is big. So you have the overseas fights while that's going on, man. That's what you do.
And Linda Rose. Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, on the undercard. Not many bits. On the undercard, bro. On the undercard of maybe a Frampton and a Santa Cruz.
That's not even that would go unnoticed except by us.
Hey, you can't. The football's a monster. Football's a beast. You can't. They're not gonna go. They said they're not gonna go head to head with that and basketball.
Like ESPN is big with from the demographic they want, from 18 to 35-year-olds. ESPN has the most viewers for that demographic. and all cable TV. You know, I mean that Thurman Collazo thing, it just wasn't enough, and the ratings showed it. Like, their ratings were not that good. They were like
disappointed in that. Yeah.
Was it? Oh shit! I heard the ratings. Really?
Well, it was the ratings were better than Friday Night Fights ratings according to them, but it wasn't the splash that they wanted.
Right.
it was like Friday
Look, man. Look, Floyd needs to either it needs to like if Floyd's gonna take his last fight for the sake of boxing, not for any of our. It should be like a Khan, a Thurman, or someone like that, not Burrow. And then guys like Wilder, heavyweight division. He needs to fight Povetkin. Errol Spence needs to fight a contender. We need to see Golovkin in there with Ward, Stevenson. That's the only way. That's the only way it can ensure the next 2-3 years.
Yeah, let me ask you a follow-up question, Beast. Why do you think Heyman is not doing more of Wilder, the face of that brand? Because he should.
He's just started though.
What'd you say, Michael?
My question is, I think that now Heyman should make Wilder the face of that brand, and the question is, why is he not doing it? He should be hitting what?
Because he's not that confident in Wilder right now. Everyone knows that. Like, you know, they're not quite confident in Wilder, so they're playing it a little cautious right now.
Well, you know what I'm
saying? You know, if they're going to go to the old school model, they're going to go old school model and have boxing everywhere and follow that model. Well, what do we know about that? The heavyweight division was the glamour division. The heavyweight belt champion, if you will, the guy who had the belt was the glamour guy. I just think that moving forward, you know, they should do more with Wilder than what they're doing. That's just my opinion.
I agree.
You know what's going on with the PBC is that Al Heyman made so many deals with so many with so many networks, and he's just trying to stretch it out as much as he can. You know, like if he just gives us all the great fights, and he runs out of all the great fights in a year, then what's he going to do with the rest of it, right? So I think he's trying to milk it as much as he can before he's almost forced to just give us some good fights, basically. That's my theory. He has to deal with almost every network.
Wow. Hey, so let's go. So when does the football season start? Was it September, October? What is it?
I think it's October.
College football season and NFL preseason starts in August. So you're really talking about when preseason games, they start in the beginning of August. The NFL season start first week in September, second week in September. College football starts like the last week in August.
Well, look, man, we got some great fights, man. We got Shane Mosley versus Ricardo Mayorga. Stop it. We got all right. End of August, yeah. Leo Santa Cruz versus Abner Maris. Now that should be a good fight, but that's not. That's a ESPN. I think that's a PBC card. That should be.
That's actually an ESPN. That's an ESPN. That's an ESPN fight, EJ.
Well, that's not PBC.
It's a PBC on ESPN bout. So.
Yeah. That's
but you're looking at two guys who have ducked ring down. That's not gonna, come on, man. It's not really gonna change the face of boxing to come.
Right. The fight happened a year or so late.
Sorry, Mike.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Talking about all the other sports, right? Like you were just mentioning, like American football, basketball, UFC. Them fights are not going to compete with that. They're not going to compete with that. You know?
He's got I think
given quality says Wilder's not good enough for him to be the face. He goes straight comedy.
We don't know that though. We don't know that though.
He thinks Wilder's straight comedy. Like, come on now, given quality. That's a bit hard.
We don't know that though.
Listen, his last fight was humorous though. I ain't gonna lie, the last fight was quite humorous. He got shook up in that fight, but you know what? He
packed out 12,000-15,000 in Alabama and had celebrities all over the place.
I know.
Again.
That was good.
They could use that. They could use that to really market him.
When's he fighting? But we don't even know when he's fighting next.
Right.
And it's supposed to be Chris Arreola or something.
Man, that's terrible. Chris Arreola.
No, Arreola just waved the white flag, didn't he?
Yeah,
He said he don't deserve the fight and all this shit.
But he probably will though.
He's just saying that now. As soon as they offer him the fight,
They offer him the fight. If they offer him the fight,
He
70,
can offer
he's
him
gonna
a
take
fight,
it.
man. Hey, Wilder and Arreola is interesting. You know, it's not gonna go anywhere.
how is that interesting? And the guy just drew with Fred Kassi.
It's the build up. The build up, man. The build up. That's
Povetkin is
fight ain't gonna be that good though.
If you're gonna say interesting, Povetkin's interesting.
No, you're still on the Povetkin one. You're still on that one. That guy's taking steroids.
I'm still on it. That should be the fight. If
That
you're
guy's
talking about in the lineage of heavyweight fights that's going to compete with all them other sports, you're saying, it's not Chris Arreola. It has to be Povetkin.
Taking
Why does it not be
steroids.
Povetkin?
Taking steroids, mate. You know what I mean?
So Povetkin's on steroids, but what? So the Chris Arreola fight's interesting because he's eating pizzas or something? I mean, I don't...
None of them. Funny enough, none of them.
The other one's like on... He needs to be on diuretics or something.
Ain't none of them that good, man. Ain't none of them that good. The heavyweight division, the Klitschko needs to go. That's what happens, yeah? He needs to go yesterday. Take him out, and then the boxing will be in a good state, man. Wilder and Fury, let's get it on. 2016, January. That's what needs to happen. Real ASAP, me, ASAP. Straight, me.
And...
ASAP Rocky, I'm telling you, man. That's what needs to happen.
Why can't he not fight Povetkin?
He's taking steroids, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
That's the only fight that's going to generate Wilder any interest right now. That's the
Is
only fight.
that going to make any money over here, or is it going to make money over in
That's
Europe?
the only fight that's going to give him any credibility as a heavyweight champion to flag anything. No, not Chris Arreola. No, none of these guys here. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. This is going to lose him credibility, and they're going to run him into the ground and criticize him. That's what's going to. They're going to.
I got a question in the chat. Prophet or truth? What do you guys think of heavyweight Charles Martin, who recently signed with Al Heyman? What's your guys? What's the panel's thoughts, man?
Say again, Earl. My fault.
Charles Martin. Anyone know him?
Who's that? When didn't he got a fight yesterday?
Yeah, he's a heavyweight. Just recently signed, man. What you guys think, man? Prophet or truth just said that. Innit? I don't know. I never heard of him, man.
I'm not that familiar with him, so I really can't answer.
Charles Martin is a heavyweight.
If you fight someone with a heartbeat, I'll get back to you.
You know what, though?
Wow.
Man, here's my thing. Wilder should fight Povetkin. If there's this, concern that he's, roided up or whatever, then, ask for some stringent, drug testing or something. And if Povetkin at that point declines, then we'll deal with that. But as of right now, that's the fight I want to see.
Oh, man. You're the beast, man. All right, friend.
Who else is going to fight? I mean, like Chris Arreola, but...
I like the Arreola fight, man. Arreola makes me, but you know what?
Arreola should not. You see, that's what we're talking about. You're talking about what's going to fix up boxing. You're going to put this guy who's out of shape on the screen to represent heavyweight boxing, right? Out of shape, in bad form behind him.
All right,
right? So how does that,
Hey,
this is the flagship division, how does that fight there do anything to restore?
What about, okay, Arreola lost, yeah? Everyone unanimously said he lost. Why did you fight that guy who beat him? You know that guy who beat Arreola yesterday? What's the guy's name? The African dude. What's his name?
No one knows that guy. No
Yeah,
one knows no Fred Kassi.
Why don't you fight him? That's credible.
Why does you fight that guy there?
Yeah.
Povetkin, why not?
I know Povetkin.
That's a waste of topic. That the guys you're naming there, like I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say really.
Look, man.
I don't feel like Povetkin's like unbeatable or something. I think Crolla could beat him, so why not?
I don't want to beat him.
So what are we scared of?
Yeah, it needs to happen, man. I think it's time for Wilder to just go ahead and put a stamp on, let everybody know if he is, gonna be that guy or not. I mean, he got Povetkin. I think it's not gonna dismiss all his haters, but it will. I think it will give everybody enough. If he can go in there and smash Povetkin, it will give everybody enough confidence to stop being on the fence with Wilder. You know what I mean? And throw some support his way.
You know what boxing's problem is? It's that whenever you know somebody could be very marketable, they start protecting them every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just find out if he's for real or not. If he's not, then yeah, is it going to suck? Like, oh, man, if only this dude was for real and he would have been the big star or whatever, right? He's going to get exposed eventually anyway. So let's just find out once and for all if he's a real deal or not. And that's it. You know, like I hate to bring up this example, but like in the UFC, McGregor's like the big star for them. They just threw him in there with the Sharks, man. Like, let's just see if he's for real or not. And he's paid off.
Yep, that's one thing about the UFC. I keep telling you, like I said the same thing. Like this, they threw this dude in there. You know, he was supposed to fight Jose Aldo, and they could have easily said, "All right, this guy is our future star, so let's just put him in there because Aldo is hurt. Let's just put him there with a bum." They said, "Nope, you're going right in there with Chad Mendez, the number 2 guy," and he smashed Mendez. I mean, so he proved that he's ready.
I heard it was fake, you know.
That's just bullshit. They said the same thing about boxing.
I don't know if he smashed him or something. Like, you know, he got a knockout at the end.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it wasn't, you know.
I heard it was fixed, man. Like, I had some reliable sources. They be using everything like wrestling.
That's
WWE with McMahon. Instead of McMahon organizing, you got listen to this scenario. Yeah, you got Dana White organizing it because you know Ozo was out, so they upped the number 1 Mendes to come in. They goes to him, listen, if you lose to this dude here, everyone's gonna get paid, right? If you lose to this dude, everyone's gonna get paid. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put your boy, what's his name again? The Californian kid. What's his name again?
Ryan Favor.
Ryan Favor in a TV series with Conor McGregor after, and everyone's gonna get paid because this is what we're gonna rehearse them having a little scrimmage in the corridor, like they're really gonna be.
You know, I'll tell you what, man. This is my opinion.
That's what I heard.
UFC is a horrible This is my opinion from what is a horrible sport to watch. Horrible spectacle. The fact that boxing is struggling to overtake that garbage sport. I'm sorry, guys. I know you guys like it. That just shows you how badly it's regrowing. Right? You know, look, back in the day, they had kickboxing in K2, but Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis, even Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield, kept their sports on the back burner. Boxing should be able to keep UFC on the end of a jab easy, but it's not doing it. Because, you know,
it should be.
I agree, though, that all of boxing's problems is really like boxing itself. Right?
I think boxing's got them on their toes because the UFC fighters don't make nothing.
Nah, man, it's money there though.
Boxers make more money than UFC fighters. Everyone knows that.
Who gets more commercial advertising revenue out of boxing and UFC?
The boxers get more money, man, because
commercial revenue. Only Floyd makes money like that. Who else makes money like that?
They still make more money than the average UFC do, beats. The UFC do, they have to keep working.
Okay, fair enough. Forget the boxers, right? Forget the boxers. Let's talk about the infrastructure. Who makes more money, like commercial revenue? Like,
Beats is talking about endorsements and whatnot and outside money from them.
Right? Because they actually have the UFC is actually an entity where the fights are channeled through. UFC's probably making more than Al Heyman, probably.
Well, I'll tell you what, over in England, they're doing all right. Over in the boxing in England, I can tell you that, with Eddie Hearn, they're making a nice fucking piece of change, mate. Eddie Hearn's got enough sponsors ready to his dad's got enough. Remember, his dad's hooked up with bloody who does the darts and stuff like that. That's a mainstream thing what people watch.
Eddie Hearn, right? Listen, Sky and Matchroom are only doing what they do because of football, right? If Premier League football wasn't running, there would be no boxing, there would be no cards on it, right? They're doing it on the back of that program in there. Premiership football.
They got sponsors. The dartsers that they get all the sponsors from the darts. They get all the sponsors from the snooker. They have a hardcore fan base, and they use them sponsors and they give them to the boxers. Yeah, so they making money. They still making more money than the average UFC guy. The average UFC guy is not making more than a boxer.
The moment Premiership football falls off in England, you won't see boxing's in trouble. Trust me.
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen, though, is it?
No, but let's rely on that.
It's not gonna happen though. So, what's people? Let's see people saying in the chat. He's got.
A lot of these fighters don't bank in boxing, man. We just don't.
Well, the thing is, man.
And a lot of these boxers don't get the endorsement money like UFC guys get either. So
I look at it this way. I always judge it by the pulse of the people, man. And we can sometimes be, in this fantasy world because we're online and in the YTBC and we all love boxing. We're gonna like boxing regardless. But if you go around other people and watch how they move and what they're interested in, man, boxing is like last on everybody's agenda, man. Like I can go in any sports bar and see all of these. Like every time it's a UFC event on, it's just there's plenty of motherfuckers just packed and they're watching the UFC event and they're cheering and rooting and like it's an excitement to the UFC because they're getting better fights made in MMA than we are getting in boxing. That's just a fact. And in boxing fans, the people who should care about these fights getting made, we always tend to try to make excuses up for why we can't get the fights we are supposed to be getting. Oh, they don't have to do this. We don't have to do that. And that's going to come back and bite us in the ass. You know what I mean? It's going to come back and fuck us up.
Yeah, well, we all right for now. Just keep. They need to do something with the cards, man. Just do something with the cards right now. Golden Boy's cards is garbage, man. And Bob Aaron, he over there in Asia. He go to Asia. Now I ain't got nothing on Asia. It's just like Macau. The average fight fan's not watching Macau. Did you watch the Asian card in the top? Did anyone watch the top ranked card?
Nope.
Fuck that shit.
Man, boxing needs somebody to control everything, man. That's what they need. We need Don King back or something.
Don King's, he ain't gone nowhere though, but
I mean, look, here's the thing. The UFC, right, they control, basically they have 95% of all the best fighters in their sport, right? Just think of boxing everywhere from all the way down from flyweight all the way to heavyweight. If one dude controlled 95% of those fighters, and he could tell them when to fight, like, you're going to fight this guy and that's it, right? We would have, and they only had like 30 cards a year, then we would get stacked fights all the time. Like boxing is just too spread out. Like too many promoters, too many networks, fighting against each other and all that shit, man. But I did want to mention though about the fights or the fighters and their pay. I mean, do any UFC fighters make what Floyd Mayweather's making or Pacquiao's making or even Klitschko? No, they don't make that type of money. But some of them do make a couple million a year, man. Like it would keep it real. Overall, and endorsement deals and whatever other bonuses that they have in agreements on the side, right?
Go ahead, Cesar, my fault.
Well, there's that. Plus, not only that, like the UFC provides them with a cut man, so they don't have to pay a cut man for the night. Like they provide them with a lot of shit already. They have like the gloves that you're gonna wear these gloves. They don't have to pay you for anything. Do they have a certain portion of their purse that they need to give to other people, like their trainers? Yeah. But, I mean, boxers in general, man, like, let's say a fighter is going to make $100,000. He really only walks away with maybe half of that. Once all his money spread out between his promoter and whenever you hear a UFC fighter's purse, that they're not paying a portion of that to the UFC. They're not paying a portion of that to the sanctioning body. Right? That's just what the UFC and that fighter agreed to, and they pay the fighter. So the fighter's like fighting off in some gym or something, he probably pays the gym a certain amount, or maybe he doesn't have to pay the gym anything. Maybe they do it through endorsements or something. A boxer, I mean, he's got to give money to his, to his cut man. He's got to give money to his, trainer. He's got to give money to his manager. He's got to give money to to the sanctioning body. He's got to give money to a portion of his purse to his promoter. Like, but by the time they're done with that boxer, he's at the minimum half of what he was supposed to make. And then Uncle Sam comes along, and they're worth maybe a quarter of what they were supposed to make, man. I think Dwyer made a video once about Becco was broke after a fight that he was supposed to make $100,000 in. After he had to, give his money out, he had nothing left.
Oh shit, Joseph Abeco, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like boxers.
Excuse me, fellas, but I have to be out. I'll talk to y'all later. All right.
All right, man. Thanks for coming over, Michael, man. I'll see you in the week, man.
Y'all be good, fellas. Y'all be good.
All right, man. Take care.
A quick point, like a boxer's like literally an independent contractor, right? So like they're the boss. That's why they pay the promoter. They pay like a portion of the purse, technically speaking. Where a UFC fighter, he already has a set contract for a set amount of fights, and that's it. You know, like their purse is their money, and if they have like an agreement with somebody on the side, then that's on them, right? But I'm telling you, man, they don't give a portion of the purse to no sanctioning body because there is no sanctioning body. They don't give a portion of the purse to the promoter because the UFC is the promoter, and they're paying them. So, you know, I'm just saying.
That's a good point. But they
Yeah, then MMA is still, you gotta remember, this shit is only like what, less than 25 years old to the mainstream. It's like less than 25 years old, and these guys are already making $500,000 a fight and shit like that. I mean, at least the stars are. So, you know, what are they gonna be making in another 25 years? You know what I'm saying? And like boxing has been here since forever. So, I mean, it's just bad business for boxing, man. Boxing is when you are. I don't know how it is in y'all cities, man, but like certain, like out here we got like Time Warner Cable, right? And they like the most arrogant pieces of shit because they were the first, and everybody needs us, and they can treat their customers like shit. But then when DirecTV and Dish and stuff come around, you know what I mean? They're still sitting on this high horse, Time Warner Cable, like, well, we're better than them, and fuck you, you're gonna pay us this amount of money if you want these channels. And then people slowly start leaving, going to DirecTV, going to Dish, you know, and it's their fault. It's Time Warner's fault because people like Time Warner Cable, but they don't treat the customers the right way. And I look at that's how boxing is doing. They don't respect the fans. They're starting to become real elitist, man. They catering to a lot of these rich ass people, and they're not really catering to the fans who are keeping this sport alive, man. They're not giving us what we want. When we finally got Mayweather Pacquiao, they acted like it was like, oh, fine, here, we've been begging for 5 years. Here, I'm doing this for you. Like, get the fuck out of here. You're supposed to give us that to us. We made you motherfuckers rich. You think you would have made $250 million and $180 million if it weren't for us? Like, we talked that fight into being the biggest fight in boxing history. It was us. All right, we did that. So I don't like the way we got treated behind all that shit. Like it was, you know, like we're some pest or something. Like, you know what I mean? Whenever we talk about something or complain about something, like we're bothering the fighters or some shit. Man, fuck that, man. Y'all got a job to do. Y'all are entertainers. You fight, and we pay you to do your fucking job. You know what I mean? If you don't want to do it, then fine. We won't support the shit, man. And the MMA is right now, the new fans are going towards boxing. All them young kids, I know, I see it. They're going towards MMA, not boxing.
Yeah. Wait, man. Anyone else want to say about that? That's the shit. I agree, man.
You think about it, man. Like, you know, selling 1.5 million against Galazzo, and he deserves it. But you know, like if he gets a few more purses, 2-3 million and whatever, he might just do what Madonna does and just go on the ranch on the farm and chill. You know, Amir Khan, he's turning out $4 million purses. How hungry can he really be? He only cares about the Floyd Mayweather fight.
This whole deserve thing, I mean, does he deserve it? Sure, why not? When you put your life on the line at the same time. I've always been in the belief that a fighter should be paid what he draws, really. I mean, you can't make $1.2 million and have a half the arena empty and get the ratings you got on ESPN. You know, I just, somewhere on the top, like Al Heyman's going to have to explain to an executive, why do we pay this guy this much money and got these ratings? You know, I mean, what did we get in return? Like at some point, these fighters need to understand that, yes, you deserve the money because you're putting life on the line, but at the same time, you have to show the worth. You know, and if somebody wants to say that's unfair, all right, but at the end of the day, and even though I hate hearing this myself, but it's true, it is a business, right? So a lot of these fighters are getting overpaid. You know, like it's a lot of this money is just it's not really accounted for.
Yeah, but when you think about it, like Canelo earned about $3 million to fight Cito Lopez years back.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I found that absolutely amazing.
Well, he beat Victor Ortiz though. Broke Victor Ortiz's jaw.
I don't care. I don't care. That's still not a $3 million fight. I don't care.
But I could have, if you were to sit something down on the books, they could account for those things. It was a packed arena, the ratings and stuff like that, right? I mean, they could at least account for some of that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but we don't know as well too though. With the PBC cards, we don't know like what these advertisers are paying Heyman and shit like that. I mean, he obviously has to be able to afford to pay the fighters if he's gonna pay them that much. But yeah, I understand the point, because if they're not hungry, you know what I mean, if they're living good already, then you know they're not gonna have the drive to go out there and fight. It's like all boxers have the same mentality when they're young and they ain't really making a lot of money. It's like, oh, I fight this guy, I fight that guy, I want everybody. Woo. So as they get to the point where they're making a lot of money, it becomes more political and strategic. You know what I mean? Because they want to stay in a position where they're making that kind of money, and they don't want to get knocked off the top of the hill. But that's just how it is. But I think that I think it's gonna come down to Heyman making the guys fight. Because what I'm told is they all get a list of fighters. They'll get like 3 fighters options, and they pick one of the guys that they'll fight. And sometimes they only get like one guy. They say, hey, you want to fight this guy? He's available. And then the fighter say yes or no, whatever. But usually they get a list of about 3 opponents, and they have to pick the one they want, and the fight tries to get made by doing that. But I think Heyman's going to have to hire someone. I'm not going to say he should do it himself, because he got a lot of stuff on his plate, but he needs to hire a matchmaker to just put these fights together. I mean, and just take away the option for these guys to say, look, you're going to be fighting. That's how Dana White does it. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be fighting this guy in 2 months. Get ready. And this is no discussion.
Richard, what's his name? Richard Thing's coming back though, man. What's his name? Richard Schaefer's coming back. So maybe when Richard Schaefer jumps back in, maybe that will be sorted.
Listen, I don't think the businessman can do it.
Like if let's say Al Heyman puts his foot down, and this is the way it's going to be, and then they get a deal like from Top Rank or Golden Boy or Rock Nation to get paid $2 million a fight, then that's where they're going to go.
Right. Now, see, this is it. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't think the businessmen can do. You know who could change all this overnight? It's the fans. If the fans say, nah, Floyd, we're not going to accept Berto. Nah, we're not going to accept you. Nah, Kelbrook, Khan. If the you see Khan's fans, they gave him a wall. They gave him a wall of this is okay. If you're getting £4 million, no one should be saying you shouldn't be taking this fight, And I think the fans, no matter who they're supporting, they've allowed this to happen. Like, I remember talking to fans, right, when Junior Witter and Ricky Hatton, and these guys turned into accountants of why the fight shouldn't happen. I said, are you boxing fans or accountants?
This is funny, Hey, listen, it's true though, man. And you know what? Since the social era, we're all accountants, because when we start talking about fights, oh, he's with this fight, that's why that fight. We know too much. Back in the days, we sat there in front of our VCR and our TV. You know shit. Oh, that's a good fight. Now we know the inside information, man.
Yes.
Because we're in the business of protecting guys we like.
Yeah.
And we're not pure boxing fans anymore. So we talk all this shit about the casuals, but we all are responsible for to a degree. We're all responsible for the way boxing has turned out, because, like you say, we spend too much time politicking for the fighters instead of just making their asses fight. Like, you know what I mean? If you're going to, and even, I mean, I'm just being real. I'm guilty of it, and everybody on this line I'm sure has done it before. Yeah. You know what I mean? We politic too much for these fighters instead of making their asses fight. That's the problem.
You know what they got rid of, man? They got rid of the chase, man. Like, a lot of these fighters, like, to come up and being a contender and then eventually getting the big money fight. And now they're just getting the big money fight. I mean, 1.2 million is a big money fight to me. Like, they're getting the big money up front.
Yeah.
They keep the big money, man. Like,
I can't believe Chavez made a couple of million for that garbage fight. Shit.
He made a couple of million for that fight.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, 5,000 people there. It's not like it was a freaking. I don't know.
It's like I made $1 million and
Wow.
I made a fucking $1 million in that shit, that bullshit fight there. Fuck that shit, man. That's why
And
he that's why
he didn't wait. So he made a couple of million for someone he outweighed by a massive amount. The guy wasn't even ranked, right? And he made a couple of million for this fight.
Yeah.
Wow.
They say Chavez was 200 pounds on fight night.
Wow. Okay. D-Style, take it all back, man. He deserved it. What you got? He wasn't excessive. I didn't realize he. I thought he was making about 100,000.
$1 million, man. That's why $1 million shit. That's what I'm saying. And this is what it is. They don't feel like they have to perform no more. You know the thing is, they when they were getting breadcrumbs, yeah, back in the days in Sam Blanford, they motherfuckers are they were good.
You make the weight if you're getting a couple of million.
I'm not saying make them broke, but man, I remember when like the $200,000 payday was a good payday for like a contender.
Yeah.
All that money.
Made $1 million, man.
Mike McCallum got 50,000 for his first world title fight, man.
It shows you how much things have changed, doesn't it? Like the things have changed, man. Like,
Do you think he took home out of that 50,000 purse? That was back in about '84. Maybe a couple of grand.
Like when Morales and Barrera had the rematch, right? I remember Lamley was complaining that it was still a great fight, but he was complaining that they weren't going at it as much, right? And that's when I'll never forget this line from George Foreman because he was commenting the fight, and he said, "Yeah, but that first fight when they were fools. Now they're millionaires, you know. So like they're not going to fight like that anymore."
Oh yeah, of course. That's why the second fight, the third fight wasn't the same.
Yeah, so like you make these dudes millionaires before they've even proven themselves. They have no incentive to prove themselves. None. Chavez Jr. has no incentive to prove himself at all. He could be lazy, not show up to camp. He's going to get $1 million. Like
that makes sense. That makes sense because you look at this, yeah. Arturo Gatti and Mickey Wood. The first fight was sick. The second and the third, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. But that's a good point, man. But I tell you what. What's his name again? Isco Vasquez versus Rafael Marquez. Them motherfuckers were going in on each other, bro. But I don't think they made that much money. But they were trying to kill each other in that one. But it's true.
Yeah, but they weren't getting paid.
Yeah, I just realized that. This is what I'm saying. I don't think they got.
Yeah, they're hungry, man. I mean, it's the same thing with hip hop. I mean, usually the first albums from everybody is the best because they're hungry. They're young and they're hungry and they connected to the street. As soon as they start, you know, popping Cristal and, you know, Luciano with the Gucciano bullshit, then they fucking, you know, the albums become whack and full of auto-tune and, you know, everything's about their money and it's not about life anymore.
Yeah.
But, man, I'm going to head out, man. I'm going to holler at y'all guys a little later.
All right, so man, I'm you know what, man, I'm gonna wrap up, man. I'm depressed, man. I'm gonna wrap up, man. So from anything you guys want to say before we wrap up?
it feels like rehab, man. I walk in like my name is Eric. I'm a boxing fan. Shit.
Hey man, and you know what these stars? We even got Game of fucking Thrones to go back on as well. You know, I gotta wait for some football, man. Shit, I miss Game of Thrones, man. Shit, I gotta watch some Ray Donovan tonight, man. Anyways, DJ Boxer live here, signing out. Boxing Beats and Rhymes, D-Star 78 Sports TV, Michael from Pound Box, Chris Caban, and who else came over? Oh, Natty Turner came over as well. So from everyone else, we'll catch you next week. Hopefully, some more fights. All right, peace.